Hey, we're live. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Okay. Well, let's get this whole thing shared. Okay. And we are live. Dun, 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 dun. Join me as I glimpse from the itch frame bundle. And let's do that, and we do that. And of course the link is very important. And might as well pop that over there. Now we share the link. The link. Boop. 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 And then, oh yes, the other place I share links. I share links at the zoo. Oh boy. Let's lower that. Always takes forever for Steam to load up. Okay. Boop. Okay. Well, it's everything. So let's pull itch.io up. We'll go over to OBS, put display capture on, and it looks like it's frozen there, or is that just me? Oh, that's very odd. Oh, I just had a freeze, that's what's going on, apparently. Okay, well, that's a little confusing. But hey, all's good. Okay, so let's start. Hey folks, welcome to this edition of the Saturday afternoon stream. It's been a week or two, I think. I was not feeling great last week, I think it was. I almost canceled today, actually. I'm feeling a bit iffy in the throat, but you know, since I don't scream a lot or project a lot, everything should be fine. What we're doing this week is what we've been doing for the past 6 weeks. Yeah, this is episode 6. We're playing games from Itch. Now, I don't expect to have too many people in the chat today, if any at all, because a lot of my friends are down in Melbourne at PAX this weekend. Lucky bastards. But here I am. We're going to play some games. We're going to have some fun. So let's get started with Pleroma. Are you pulling my leg, or are you generally having one of your departures? Loading. Let's just go medium. Okay. Just let me double check some stuff. Interesting. Yep, okay. Let's get a new game here. Yeah, go ahead. Is this a first-person game? Will I... Error code. Fundament access invalid due to turner access exception. The hills are bare and broken. The fog... That could take your time. Okay, can I... it won't let me change things. Okay. Okay, tab. Yep. What the? So, F for flashlight. Okay. Andrea, I'm very sorry this is happening. Not your fault. I know it's hard. I know it can be difficult to see that when you're in the thick of it, but it really isn't your fault. Hang in there. I will help in any way I can. Diane. The couplets are important, I think. I don't know how to decipher them exactly. I mean, the format is pretty obvious, but the specifics escape me. For now, I've had a friend of mine who has a special affinity for this sort of thing. Take a close look at them and add a few notations of her own. Maybe he'll figure it out before I do. I'm going to keep trying on my end. Yay, we have a light. Yeah, I have a feeling this is... Ooh, big TV. This is going to be a big horror experience. That's nice. I do like that. With its red glow. Some sort of gun or something. Eesh, the bathroom. Okay. Come on. Okay. Okay. I'm going to try and exit the apartment. And maybe we'll call it there because at the moment I'm not super engaged. But let's keep going. Oh. Okay. Press the tab when you want to unfold or fold it back up. Okay. Flashlight module. Yep. Tracker function. Yep. Okay. Damn, this is a lot. Oh boy. Okay. No, I want to take the tracker. Give me the tracker. Not like that there's no bloody sound either. Hey, it's Shane. Hello, Shane. Welcome. Yeah. Here's the tuners. Yay. Okay, this is kind of cool. Oh. Okay, so T's kind of a reset. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I'm about to say goodbye on this one, but let's just continue outside a little. Get you anything? Bloody dog in the complex is going off again. Barks all the time. All the time. Okay. Can I step over the edge? I can. Oh. Wow. Oh. Okay. That's a volcano or something. I don't know. Not getting much from this. And step over the edge again. Ooh, look at me go down the hill. Woo! Yay! Wee! I'm having fun! I'm wanting to quit, but there's a little part of me that wants to see what that thing is over there. Okay. They're worshipping something. It's an anomaly. Okay. Well, we're done here. And that was Pleroma. Woo! Luna. A game about forgiveness. Yay, gamepad. Woo! Right. Reset VR tracking. This VR game? Right. Boom.
Ask anyone and they will tell you. The moon is always changing. Night after night it shifts, waxing and waning, winking at Earth from its place in the sky. But it wasn't always so. There was a time when the moon stayed full, frozen and changeless, a precious stone set into the darkness.
I don't believe you.
But nothing stays the same forever. Things change, and bit by bit the moon was consumed, until one night only a small sliver remained.
It was too delicious. Ooh, pretty. That's really nice.
A young bird, adding the finishing touches to its first nest at twilight, weaving the fibers tightly, hoping it will hold throughout the long, dark night.
Hello, bird. Can it do anything? Whoop. So now kind of getting a Kami vibes. Huh.
Settling down for the evening, excited, exhausted, and alone. Or so it thought.
Ooh.
But the owl had been watching. Owl knew all too well the loneliness bird held in its heart, and knew just what bird was missing. See how beautiful the moon is, bird? I know its name. Call to it. It can make you feel safe. It can make you feel light again. Whole. Serenading the moon, bird felt excited. Its fragments sparkled and shined with hope. But in the void that was left, a terrible storm grew, blowing the bird far away from home.
And the owl laughed. Hey, Roo. This is very cute. Very storybook.
bird arrived in a strange place. A broken place full of fragments and shards. Lost. Looking for a path home, Bird felt only confusion and doubt. But then, Bird saw the stars. The stars would light the way.
Twang, twang.
Piecing together the constellations would help untangle this mess.
Oh, I see. Okay. Huh. That's kind of cool. Not too complicated.
Singing felt good somehow.
It's a tree!
With each star realigned, the path became clearer. Each note filled Bird with hope.
Oh no, what do? Oh wait, wait. Silly me. It's oven mitt? A wave? Sonic the Hedgehog? Whoa, everything's a mess. Un, deux, trois. Oh.
Each tangle solved brought back more memories.
That's like menorah, isn't it? Ooh, this one's tricky. Hey, Dorkax is here. Hello. There are people in the chat. I am happy you guys made it. As I said in the intro, which I don't think any of you were here for, most of my friends are down in Melbourne at PAX. So, I thought I might have to do this alone. You're here. It means so much. My back is better, thank you. I seem to have gotten like some kind of throat sickness. So I decided I would stream regardless because it's not too bad. It's just kind of a twinge. We'll see how we go. Ah, that's a turtle. I know what that one is.
Yes, now I remember.
It's Mr. Turtle.
Beat its tiny wings and took off in the direction of Turtle's Pond.
Ah, Turtle's Pond. Twaddle. how
Bird
are Shane, Rue, and Dorcax doing this week?
It had comforted Bird, alive with the sing-song hopscotch of frogs at play.
Sing-song hopscotch, eh?
But it changed. Something must be done to heal it.
Select tree to plant. Oh, okay, that's kind of cool. I can plant a tree? Up on the hill? Or no, or in the water? Up on the hill. Okay. Wyoming's got a slight headache. Rue's feeling okay. That's good. Oh, damn. And I just... What? What's going on? Oh, here we go. Okay. Stream is being a bit, iffy today. Oh, I guess it's kind of raining outside. That would... But you're currently handbraking your next vid. Oh man, I remember when I started making videos, I was using Fraps to capture my footage, which, you know, was pretty much lossless. So I had to handbrake everything just to be able to record, you know, more than like 20 minutes of footage on my tiny little external I had at the time. Man, you've been pumping out the videos lately, Dorcax. Like, your output's been insane. Okay, so B puts it away, so... But X isn't actually doing much, so I don't know what's going on here. It says to plant, hold X. Yet anywhere where the tree appears, I can't seem to plant it. Oh. It wanted me to hold A, not X. It lied to me. Ooh. And I can bend it for some reason. That's a thing that can happen. And what's this one do? Oh, I can make it big or small. Let's make it big. Oh, don't want to make it too big. It disappears. It disappears forever, it seems. Currently not working, so I'm on the grind. Yeah. No, I've had moments like that. Not like, well, I'm not working at the moment and I don't seem to be grinding, but when I started, I was making videos instead of working on my master's thesis, so that allowed me to just pump at things because it was a distraction. I mean, those first couple of years were probably my craziest amount of output. Of course, like, I wasn't putting as much work into it in terms of editing and writing and all that, so they weren't as good. I like to think that the time spent on them makes it better, but I would like to work more on them. I just don't have the hustle within me. Oh, look, I can pick up water. I mean, planks. But apparently I've lost the tree. It won't let me plant another one. So, is the game locked? I think the game's soft locked now. Reset VR tracking. Interact. Rotate. Select plants. So I can't select the plant. Well, that's very true, yeah. Like, I don't think, you know, the whole thing is if you don't cringe at your old work, you haven't grown. I mean, my old work's not great, but I still rewatch it from time to time and go, there's some good in there. Maybe I'm not as discerning as I should be. But yeah, I like to think my current stuff's pretty damn good. Okay, you know what? I'm at a loss for what to do. I was enjoying this, which is why it's so infuriating that somehow I broke the game by making the tree too big. Reese says zoom in. Okay, we'll try one more thing. So the zoom in is right button. Nah, it's just a simple zoom in and zoom out. But yeah, maybe I can find the tree. Maybe you've made a micro tree. Well, I made it so big and then it just disappeared, and now I don't have trees anymore. So, okay. Well, that's a shame. I was actually really enjoying Luna. Had a really good look to it. It was nice and chill. Boo. Okay. Well, we'll move on. A game about forgiveness. I forgive you for breaking on me. Love 2, Kuso. A short platforming game with a minimalist aesthetic and a focus on fair yet challenging gameplay. Ah, you're excited for my control video. Oh, thanks. I'm now at the writing stage, so it's always exciting for me. Let me load the game as I talk. It's always exciting for me because I never really know what I'm going to write about until I start writing. I mean, I have an idea of what I want the script to be about, but it often changes and morphs and reshapes as I'm writing. I'm very much a discovery writer. Press left or right to run. Press jump to jump over. Ooh. I like really nice use of lo-fi aesthetic, and I'm digging this. That looks really good. Boing. Objects that are white are interactive. Some will hurt you, some will help you. Well, I think the spikes are gonna hurt me. It's always a little joke I had with friends about, you can't have a platform without spikes. Oh, okay. You can leave a checkpoint by pressing the checkpoint button. If you die, you return to where you dropped it. Oh, cool. Well, I think you... Oh! From 2018, Fred Wood, Kuso! You've hit on something I found. Let me just turn this down a little bit. In that, yeah, editing is where the real writing happens. That was very true on my previous video, the Zero Time Dilemma one. I just was not happy with the ending, and then I just kept adding more and more words and paragraphs to it until it formed into something I was happy with. Like, I've got all my notes, because I make notes as I play the game, so I've got all my control notes collated, and, you know, I have a brief idea of what I'm going to be talking about, but I don't have a point I want to make yet, so obviously I'll discover what the whole thing's about as I play the game. Sorry, as I write the script. And most likely edit the script, but let's try this out. So, unlimited. Okay, that sounds good. Okay, so this is multiple games he's put together. Okay, well, we'll just try Kuso. Yeah, not only just editing the script, but, you know, editing the audio, editing the video, adding music. Editing is definitely the secret sauce. And, like, maybe I spend too much time on it, but I really care about, you know, finding the right clip for what I'm talking about and that kind of thing. And then making sure the music works really well. Ah, I've been ored. Haha. Well, you shouldn't get angry when being ored. You don't want to have a row. Quit. Wow. Wow. Ah. I think I'd be able to get the timing down. You'd think. Wow. 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 Hey, ooh, that was tricky. You're God. Ah, there's no bloody checkpoint. Eee. Aww. Motherfucker. Well, you know, I do have unlimited lives. Is there a way to put more checkpoints? I'd love to be able to set my own checkpoints, you know, like in Ori. That was a cool part of that game. Oh. I hear someone's mowing their lawn or something outside, so if you hear that, I apologize, but you know, there's not much I can do about all that. Haha. Yeah. Speaking of secret sauce, the secret sauce in like difficult platformers is how quickly it will restart you. That's why I loved Super Meat Boy so much back in the day. It was instantaneous. But I remember, like, I really loved the original Mirror's Edge back in 2008, and I loved the speedrun challenge levels that came with it. But the problem with that game was, poop. But yeah, the problem with that game was that every time you restarted, it had to load, and it had to load quite significantly, at least on my PC at the time, because it was a very intensive 3D game for the time. So that I kind of left that alone pretty quickly. Wow. Okay. Oh wait, I could really just jump over those first two. Okay, we're done. as much as like that was cool. Don't get me wrong, but you probably were getting bored of watching me fail over and over again. Okay, so next is called Lizzi Crossing. Find the exit in this nonogram meets Minesweeper puzzle game. Okay. Yeesh. You think it's Saturday afternoon? You know, most Saturday afternoons I'm fine. There might be a little bit of dog, a little bit of barking, a little bit of music sometimes, but nope. We got power tools today. The Crash Team Racing remake. Oh, minute to 2 minute load times every new race. Oh, that sounds horrendous. Worst one in memory is actually playing through Pillars of Eternity. I did a video on that, it was like 2018, and loved the game actually. It was a pretty good computer RPG. But like the load times, we're talking 4 to 5 minutes. It was absolutely ridiculous. So wait, this is like Procross, right? But I have a little thing. Oh. That's weird. So, oh, do I have to get through the... Don't quite get... okay, so I've got lives. And obviously I need to clear the puzzle. Okay, so it is completely like you're moving through the game instead of, you know, clicking things like across. And obviously you have to avoid the Minesweeper stuff. So 6 and 3, does this mean that I'm wondering if the Minesweeper stuff and the Procross stuff is separate? Like I need to, like with this 6-3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Does that mean like I have to change the tiles, or does that mean like there's 6 clear and then break, or there's 6 mines in a row and then a break? I don't know. So, 3. Yep. Okay. So there were 6 mines in the. Okay. So this says 7 mines in a row, and then 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So there's 12, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 12 by 10. So. It says 1, 1, 1. And obviously, I'm guessing that, like Pacross, it's not necessarily one break between those numbers. It could be anything. To tell you the truth, I'm not liking this. It seems too harsh. It's a neat little idea, but where do I even begin? Yeesh. Okay. So this one's, I'm guessing. Can I click on it to like mark it? Ah, there we go. Yeah. Okay, we can mark. I'm pretty sure that one's there. Okay, so why is it flashing there? Oh, so this is 3. That's 1, 2, 3. Okay. Ah, poop. Okay, we're done here. And that was Lizzi Crossing. Kaiju Big Battle Fighto Fantasy. Travel through time with punching monsters in a 16-bit style RPG. Okay. Super Walrus. Okay, let me just see if it appears full screen on the stream. Yep, cool, we're good. Select difficulty. Wrestler mode. Sounds good to me. The action button. Cancel button. The run button. From throughout the galaxy, a monstrous mob of kaiju appear. Vile villains, atrocious aliens, city-crushing creatures threaten the Earth. A covert committee of humans organized to resist the growing danger of intergalactic threats. The Kaiju Regulatory Commission, a secret organization dedicated to monitoring mayhem and containing kaiju aggression. The Kaiju Regulatory Commission worked hard to protect the people of Earth, but then the KRC were betrayed by one of their best and brightest, Dr. Cube, the fiendish Dr. Cube. Man turned monster, Cube now creates global chaos with his army of mindless minions and mega monsters. Oh, and then it just skipped everything else. Was I taking too long to read? But I wanted to learn more about Dr. Cube. Entering the ring of the Kaiju Big Battle Heroes. Give it up for American Beetle. Oof. His opponent tonight, the most diabolical villain in the world. Dr. Cube. The Kaiju Big Battle title fight. These contenders may be able to level cities, but they only care about one thing tonight, bring home the belt. Ladies and gentlemen, humans and monsters, get ready for a night of Kaiju Big Battle Fighto Fantasy. Fighto. Pugilism. Yeah. A steel chair, cheap portable shot by Cube. Beetle's on his knees. This might be the end for the patriotic pugilist. Oh, now someone's vacuuming. What's going on? Silver Potato, Kaiju's tubular tubers come to Beetle's aid. Is our starchy superstar strong enough to take down the deranged doctor? Meal magic, eh? Salty slice with ship's magic defense. Well, just attack then. Oh, he ran away. What the heck's this? Cube's calling for a timeout. Don't want to alarm you, but there seems to be some kind of seismic activity in our area. Superdimensional Slug 1. Cube has summoned one of the most dangerous kaiju of all into the ring. The SDS-1 has been banned by the Kaiju Regulatory Commission for its horrific use of space-time distortions. How did Cube get his hands on it? Cube's gone. This place is coming down. Everyone out of the building. Translated from Spanish for Potato's benefit. First the chair, then blowing up the world. That's fighting dirty, you know? That just ain't classy. At least our universal translators are working, but man, if this is the afterlife, it's a pretty half-baked one. Get it? Because he's a potato. Yo, Potato, you ain't supposed to bring your cell phone into the ring. Not mine, man. Sounds like it's coming from somewhere distant. Let's try and check this funky place out. Yay! Well. Would you like me to continue with this Kaiju RPG, or should we move on? Oh. Oop. Oof. Found a goo. And for a little guy with no arms, that thing sure could take a punch. Place is crazy. No need to hold back, bro. Let's just go nuts on these dudes. Okay. We'll continue. Continue by moving on. That makes sense, right? Yeah, you know, as 16-bit RPGs go, that one was pretty pleasant. I can understand if you're not into the genre, Dorkax, that yeah, it can be really hard to stay invested. I happen to love Japanese RPGs, especially from that era. So yeah, actually, that was last night. I tried Inscription for the first time, and wow, it was very well made. I'm not a huge fan of card deck builders, so yeah, completely kind of wasn't digging it. LiveScream. Prove the existence of ghosts to your adoring audience. Oh good, it's a Ghost Hunters game. Woo! Ghost Hunters, yay! Okay, well, first things, let's go full screen. Huh. And now I don't have mouse. Why? Are you getting it? Or did it freeze? I see it's... let's just wait a sec. I think it's frozen. Okay, I'll do that thing I do to make these things work when they're not working. Oh right, I need to open the game for that to happen. And I go over here, and I go game capture, and I go let's capture the stream game. I go boop. And now everything should work. Should being the operative word. It's your boy, it's your girl, it's your friend. Sure, let's go with Hunter. Palest option? Sure. Him, done. Oh wait, I thought I wanted boy. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, cool. Cool. Oh, is this a visual novel? Hello, it looks like this is your first time playing this game. Would you like a quick tutorial on how to play? Yes. I might use the mouse because it seems that's easier. I like the music on this one. Great, you've just made your first choice in the game. Choices in the game will sometimes affect one of two stats, fear and audience rating. Your fear is displayed in the bar on the left. But because the mouse isn't showing, might as well. Yes, when it changes in value, you will see it glow. You will also be able to see your portrait changes, your fear changes. Keep an eye on your fear. If you let it get out of control, bad things may happen. Your audience rating is displayed in the bar on the right. Like fear, the bar will glow as your audience rating changes. Unlike fear, nothing bad will happen if it gets too high or too low. However, you'll likely want to keep this as full as possible. But hey, it's your stream, so who am I to tell you what to do? Yeah, I keep my audience interaction low. You'll be able to see your audience react in a less numerical way through the chat on the right. Wow, I'm streaming a game without streaming a game. Streamception, right? Ho ho! Like so, and don't worry if the messages fill up too quickly. You'll be able to drag to scroll to catch up at any time. Alright, you're ready to start a ghost hunting adventure now. Best of luck. Alright, let's see here. Are we live? Can you hear me? Hey, ghoul friends. It's your boy, Hunter. If you're new here, my stream, my LiveScream Fuel High is about all things spooky and creepy. And you're like, I have an extra special treat for y'all today. Rather than just covering videos and stories online like usual, this time I'll actually be exploring a haunted house. Number 3. I heard they're planning to demolish the house soon, so I figured now's the time to take a look. But first, let me give you all a bit of an introduction. Explain in great detail. Give him the why not? I'm here for stupid. There we go. So this house is pretty famous around here. It's owned by this big family, like a butt ton of money. The way the story goes is that this family, the Suttons, once had this daughter. Well, they had tons of kids, but the one that's important for the story is their youngest daughter. She grew up, got married, you know the deal. Bought this house for her and her husband. Oh, and this all takes place in like the 50s or 60s or something. Anyway, the two of them had a son that lived happy as clams in this house. Until one day, the son, who's about like 15 at this point, stopped showing up at school. No one knows what happened to the son. There was an official investigation, but nothing ever came of it. No body, no evidence. Of course, everyone suspected the parents in this case. It didn't help that they apparently became really reclusive and rarely left the house. I guess it could have been like due to trauma or something, but it gets weirder. One day, a couple months later, the parents just disappeared. Not in the sense they left town or ran away, they just disappeared without a trace. Of course, then the Suttons took over the house again. They boarded it up, and that was that. Pardon me. Since then, the families refused to sell or rent out to anyone. No one's lived there since. Totally sketchy, right? There must be something going on. Oh boy, indigestion. So, without further ado, let's get going. Approach the door, realizing that some of your work has been done for you. The boards covering up the front door must have been sturdy at some point, but at this point, not so much. They conveniently lie on the ground before you, seeming as though time and decay got the best of them. Of course, it's like someone else has had the same idea as you as well. You gingerly place a hand on the doorknob, feeling no resistance, you turn. The creaking door opens surprisingly easily. Huh. I guess if you have ghosts as your security system, you probably don't need to lock your doors. And I was hoping that I'd have to break in through the window again, or something. It doesn't seem like there's too much in the hallway, but let's have a closer look anyway before we venture further in. Well, I'm not exactly a huge visual novel fan, so let's move on from there. Yes, I'm sure. Let me quit! Let me quit! Ugh. Okay. Next one's called Watch Me Jump. An entirely different kind of basketball game. A narrative-driven journey told in 4 quarters. Because you see, basketball. Okay. Oh, I've got to install it. Okay. Sure. Let's install this. No, this isn't basketball. This is a different basketball game. Now, people love making indie basketball games. It's a huge genre. Okay. It's got flashing lights. Well, there's our warning. Game by Jeremy Gable. Ladies and gentlemen, starting for the Minnesota Lynx, number 26, Audra B. Mills. Watch me jump. Press Enter or E to start the game. Okay. Okay, yep. Pre-aim. Indianapolis, April, 11:56 p.m. Orange, like the basketball. Welcome to the Repose Hotel, Indiana's premier economy stay. Ooh, bar. Wow, reminding me of like old Sierra Adventure games. Can I get you beer? 3 Towers Pale Ale. 3 Towers? Are you sure? Yes, 3 Towers coming up. Putting on my tab, Danny. Sure thing. I'm in the seams of a basketball. Oh no. I hope I don't start to dribble. Do you want to start a conversation? Thanks for the drink. My pleasure. How's yours? My beer? It's fine. I prefer their IPA, but it kicked. Do we know each other? Yes, of course. We're old friends. Riveting. Now you're just messing with me. But seriously, we haven't met. Yes, maybe. Probably. I don't know. You just seem... Are you famous or something? I play for the WNBA. Hold up. You're Audra B. Mills from the Minnesota Lynx. You're really good. Thanks. So how long are you here for? Forever. I live here. You can check out any time you like, but you can never leave. Well, not like the hotel. That would be weird. You just ruined my reference. True. So you're an indie girl? You're happy we lost then? Well, not anymore. But before you met me? Yeah, ecstatic. So what brings you here? I work at the airport. Sometimes I come here afterward. It's quiet. And what do you do? Oh, it's a super important job. I'm a hostess at Trophies. That's how I watched you play. Hey, Jim's here. Hello, Jim. You joined at such a riveting time. Well, any time with Dave's a riveting time. I didn't know that Trophy showed ESPN 3? We show all the ESPNs. You can never have too many ESPNs. ESPN 8, the Ocho. You know, there was a guy at lunch who was talking about you. He said this is your year, that you're the best in the league. He said you're really strong. Be director, flirt. Let's flirt. Yeah? You want to feel for... You're almost out of beer. That's true. Want to buy me another? And, okay, well, that was the intro. How you doing, Jim? First quarter, Indianapolis. 6 months later, 12:03 a.m. This is not an attack. We're not attacking you. What the? Wow, that's some wild perspective in this room. That's something I want to make clear. This is not an attack against you. Yeah, Jim, I'm good. You're doing well. I'm a little under the weather, but I'm streaming. I can't complain. Definitely not. We just need to clarify that, well, people are going to come to us with lots of questions. Questions that are going to be difficult to answer. Different kinds of questions. Sure. So we need to know what to say. Well, no, Zach and I can answer the questions. You don't have to tell us what to say. But as your head coach, I need to make absolutely sure that we're on the same page here. Unity. Okay, the important thing is that this is fixable. It's not the end of your career. You're still a member of the Lynx. Sophie and I talked to the team owner as well as the league president. They agree with us. Okay, I didn't want her to know that. That thing where you're talking, could you just, not? Yes, we talked to Danielle and Gary, and yes, they agree. And I talked to your agent. Tanya deals with this all the time. You are still a vital part of the WNBA. This thing, it changes nothing. It's not drugs. It's not crime. You didn't hurt anyone. It was just a girl at a bar. Nothing more. Certainly no one here cares whether or not you're gay. Okay, this is what that's about, right? I'm not gay. Right. We can use that. We can say they went up to her room, but that doesn't mean they had sex. Oh, we had sex. You don't have to worry about whether or not I'm gay, because I'm not. Okay. Well, the bartender said you went upstairs with a woman, so I did. Okay. So then what would you say happens when two women get together and I'm bi? Oh, okay. So if someone says I'm gay, you can let them know the truth. Then we'd be on the same page. We're on your side, Audra. 100%. And we understand how absurd the whole thing is. Ridiculous. All of it. So we'll fight for you. Make sure it all blows over. But we need to know what happened. You met her at a hotel bar. Oh boy. To flirt using a bald face lie like that. I get it. Yeah, the same bar downstairs, actually. Here's what happened. It was 6 months ago. It was post-game. And you know what? I don't care. We're moving on. Ooh, but it is 2. I can't believe I installed that. Watch me jump, indeed. Yes, you looked away. It's about a bi relationship with a WNBA player, apparently. Just, okay. Watch me jump. Let's see. 2. You know what? Let's do one more before I have a break. Amelie. 2 women alone in a manor, and another who changes everything. Oh, yeah. Basketball was actually one of the highlights of this whole bundle so far. Basketball and Bunflower. Shane, basketball. I like it. Okay, full screen. Yep. What is it about full screen games removing the cursor? I think I'm just going to leave it windowed. That's so weird. Bing! So, place your bets now, people. Place your bets. I am guessing it is a visual novel. I'm not giving good odds on that one. Where lies your future? Here's Amelie. Here's Sophie. Here's... Okay, I guess you have to go through this before you can shoot. Oh, that discordant piano. Yeesh. That not an OBS setting. I'm pretty sure... No, that setting in OBS is if it shows up on stream. It shouldn't remove it because all it's doing is recording the screen. You know what? I'm going to turn that music down just a little because, oh my goodness. We'll put it there. Okay. Here's Amelie. The rain never seems to cease at this time of year. Haha, I called it. That was so difficult. It pours from the sky in its unending grief, as if longing for something unseen. Thunder roared in the distance, enough so to make the young woman flinch, but not enough to make her waver. The pendulum clock on the wall swung back and forth, ticking down the time. She seems to be late. Perhaps she is not coming at all, Amelie. There's no need to make such a sullen face. Perhaps this is for the best. She wrote that she would be here, so I shall wait. The young lady named Amelie sat upright on the lounge that rested by the entryway. Her back was straight and her head was level. Do you truly believe it's safe to have visitors during the outbreak? Lalika? I believe we have been isolated long enough, and Sophia has written that it is safe. I trust her word. She would not endanger us. And if your pen pal turns out to be a robber in disguise, what then? Amelie smiled. She has a way with words that only a woman could have. A lady robber, then? Nonsense. By the way, Lalika, have you seen my letters? I can't say that I have. A knock sounded at the door, instantly halting their conversation. Amelie rose from her place and took a steady step forward before Lalika raised a hand to her. Allow me. The door groaned as it slowly swung open and revealed the young woman who knocked at the door. Jim says might be some sort of horror game gives the music. Yeah, that discordant piano is likely a giveaway. And the fact that it seems like, gothic girls dating sim thingy. Doki Doki Amelie Club. She was drenched from head to toe. Amelie stood stock still, unsure of what to say, but that only lasted a moment before the woman at her door bounded forward and wrapped her arms around her. Yeesh! What is that design? Sophia is a rat person from beneath the Earth's surface. She doesn't get much sunlight. She also likes to wear circus tents. Amelie! Sophia! She blinked before finally allowing her arms to wrap around Sophia's back. My, you're completely drenched. Did you forget your umbrella, perchance? Or perhaps her umbrella got carried away by the wind. Lalika pushed the door shut, sealing the building. I didn't even think to bring an umbrella. The forecast said sunny all day. My fault for believing it, I guess. I can't believe you're truly here. Me either. About time, right? You're just as pretty as I knew you'd be. And you too. But what are you wearing? Good question. Jim's like, their eyes frighten and confuse me. Yeah. I'll tell you though, this visual novel so far is a high cut above most of them I played because the music's good and the writing's good. Senior house, I feel like I should have dressed up a little more. No, perhaps it is I that is overdressed. Lalika stood to the side, her arms crossed lightly over her chest. Her long hair reached down nearly to the wooden floor. Pardon my manners, my dear friend Lalika is here too. I believe I wrote about her in the past. I remember. I've kept all your letters safe, don't worry. As you should. Haha, sorry, but is there any chance you have a towel? Of course, my apologies. I would usually have someone here to attend to us, but everyone's been sent home. Only the 3 of us remain. And the ghost! The ghost of Amelie Manor! Let me fetch you a towel. Amelie knew not to run, yet a part of her felt the need to almost skip in joy. She wanted desperately to be back by Sophia's side, chatting about everything that they'd missed in their letters. The 2 had been pen pals for as long as she remembered. Sophia's letter had first been delivered to the banner by mistake, but for some reason Amelie had felt compelled to reply. Since then, the 2 had been the best of friends, even having not met face to face. To finally meet now in the flesh had certainly been of great excitement to Amelie. She quickly retrieved the towel and made her way back to Sophia's side. Lalika stood a distance away from her, still looking vaguely unhappy. Sophia spun around, a look of surprise on her face when she saw Amelie. Sophia? Oh, Amelie. Please, use this. Thanks, I'll bring an umbrella next time, I promise. Sophia lightly toweled at her hair and clothing, drying off from the rain she'd found herself caught in. Then, if you're now dried off, would you care for a tour of the house before afternoon tea? That sounds great. On your right is the pantry. And down that hall is the boiler room, but you shouldn't have any need for those spaces. I don't know why we mentioned them. The 2 walked side by side with Lalika trailing slightly behind. These are all the guest bedrooms. I have prepared this one for your use. If you find anything not to your standards, you can let myself or Lalika know. Amelie, I have a feeling your standards are much higher than mine. After all, I'm wearing a circus tent. I've never even been in a house that looks like this. No? Is your home not similar? Well, it's a lot smaller. There's no shame in that. You own your own property, yes? Yeah, I recently bought it. With your husband? What? No, of course not. I'm not married. Your father allowed you to buy property on your own. Amelie, you speak just like how you write. I'm so surprised. You speak quite casually. People usually say that about me. Being here around you makes me want to be more formal. What need is there of formality between friends? That's true too. This is the morning room. And next door, the dining room. We have an afternoon tea in the sitting room. Aw, I was about to make a joke about this is where we grieve. Don't worry about those spaces, Jim says. Those spaces are certainly not haunted by the restless dead. Well, we've already got dead eyes, so... You creepy resist. So many rooms. Upstairs is my bedroom and the master bedroom, if you get my drift. I must ask that you don't enter the master bedroom as it belongs to my parents who are currently away. Away on business? Away on deadness? Of course I won't go poking around anyway. All this walking has made me parched. Shall we take afternoon tea now? Sure, that sounds good. Why don't you have a seat while Lalika and I prepare our food? Oh, I can come help. Nonsense, you are my guest. It would be remiss of me to allow you to lift a finger. If you insist, but I'm happy to help, anytime. Thank you, I will be back soon. Please rest. Amelie. Yes? It's nothing. Take your time. Sophia slipped through a doorway and disappeared. Amelie smiled gently, feeling giddy from the bottom of her stomach. Isn't this lovely, Lalika, to have a new face in the house? It feels like forever. 'Cause it has been. We've been dead so long. Yes, how lovely. I'm glad you're having fun at the very least. Are you not? I'm always having fun when we're together, Amelie. It's a love triangle. That will end in murder? Ah, I see. Are you jealous? Bring up, my dear friend. Of course, our friendship means just as much to me. I value you greatly. Sophie is the only one not dead. Have some afternoon tea, there's certainly not blood. Vampires, ghosts, ghouls, goblins, or just extra-dimensional monsters. Who knows? Do you want to stick around to find out, or should we move on? Just as much. Indeed, come along, Lalika, let us prepare tea. Did you finish the baking yesterday? The pastries are ready for serving. Excellent, I'll just fetch the tea then. Allow me, a lady of your standing shouldn't be doing such a menial task, should she? Don't be absurd, even Sophia herself seems to be fine in the kitchen. Did you hear how she jumped to help? I should follow in her footsteps. What would your parents think of that? Game for October. I do have a couple horror games that I lined up for this year, but then I got, I shouldn't say stopped playing the Ukraine bundle, but that's what I'm doing now. Including, even though I wasn't really digging Inscription when I played it yesterday, I thought it might be a fun stream game. Because apparently, you know, it goes on some weird twisty turns. And I have the that game Devotion as well, the one by the Taiwanese studio, that I thought would be pretty fun to play on stream as well. The true horror of this game could be that there is no horror whatsoever. Very true. It could just be like, you know, relationship drama or class drama or drama. I appreciate the sentiment, but to deck with them all the staff, I have little choice but to prepare my own tea. I see. Then shall I attend to our guest? I wouldn't want her to become lonely. Would you? I'll only be a few minutes. Of course, anything for you, Amelie. It would be a good chance for you to become friends, too. I'm sure it will be. Alika left the kitchen with slow, deliberate steps. Amelie turned back to the kitchen. I wonder what she would prefer. Ooh, the first choice of the game. It's a toughie, folks. Oolong or green? Oolong or green? Ooh. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. This is just the visual novel version of Watch Me Jump. Oh, that's good. That's good. Oh, we've got to vote for Oolong. We've got to vote for green. Oh no, the chat is split. There will be argument over what's the word? Irreconcilable differences. There we go. Go with the green tea. Green. Wait, choose Oolong. Oh no. Boom, green. What vampire demons would drink. Green tea would be my first choice. I'm sure Sophia will agree. There. Amelie retrieved her finest teapot and 3 matching cups. Pink flowers blossomed over the white surface. Something about it reminded her of Sophia. I'm back. Ah, Sophia? Oh, Amelie. I'm sorry you scared me. Is everything all right? I have to tell you, I'm not really alive. I thought you'd be able to tell looking at my skin, but... Yes, I think I'm just a little tired. It is the day after all. Good, I'm sorry for the delay, but I prepared the tea and the pastries. So, this is what a high tea looks like. High tea will come later. This is just a simple afternoon tea. Will Alika be joining us? I believe so. Was she here a moment ago? No, she wasn't here. How strange. She told me she was coming to sit with you. Perhaps she's gotten herself busy with something else. Should we wait? There's no need. It would be sad to let the tea go cold. Amelie poured tea into the 2 cups slowly, copying the movements she'd seen Alika do time and time again. Did you have much trouble getting here? A little. My ride broke down, so I had to walk for a bit. Broke down? I'm extremely sorry. If the staff had been here, I would have sent someone to collect you. It's okay. It's just a little rain. I just wouldn't want you catching a fever. My medicine store has been running low of late. The eyes. I'd like to hold a parliamentary vote, and it looks like the ayes have it. I apologize for that. That was stupid even for me. No worries, I usually carry ibuprofen with... Wait, what time? I thought this was like in Victorian... Well, okay, with Sophia's dress, it's definitely not Victorian England. Is it supposed to be modern day? Well, you know, I was worried maybe you guys were getting bored with... Because, you know, visual novel is not too exciting, but there does seem to be a lot of... response and reaction to this one, so maybe I should keep going. No worries, I usually carry ibuprofen with me. Ibuprofen? I haven't heard of it. Oh, is this a thing where she's from the real world and this lady's never left the house? Anyway, I'm glad you arrived here safely. I'll draw a bath for you later to make sure you are warmed up properly. Thank you. Amelie sipped at her tea before looking down at it with a confused expression. A little stale. I'll ask my father to procure a new batch when he arrives home. Where are your parents, by the way? Well, we were separated due to the plague. Wait. Ibuprofen. Plague. Obviously, this isn't a, modern pandemic thing. Although maybe it is. They took the staff to wait until a cure is found and left me here with Alika as to not catch the disease. Wait, so did they have the disease? What's going on here? Right, I understand. I spent a lot of time separated from my family due to the pandemic too. It warmed my heart to find another thing in common with you, Sophia. I was surprised to hear that it's safe enough for you to visit. Perhaps that means my parents will be back soon too. Also, who leaves their child alone during a pandemic? I think so. The world seems to be opening back up again. So, what do you do locked up in this big house all the time? Well, I usually spend my time sewing or playing music. I used to write, but, well, my parents wondered if it was feminine enough. Ooh. The wind's blowing things. It's sensing the spooky. Where are my parents? Certainly not dead. I don't really think that matters. If you enjoy it, then I say you should do it. Sophia. Then what about you? Well, I'm studying art at university right now, so I guess that's what I spend most of my time on. She goes to art school. If you were here last week, you'd know that. Wait, it wasn't last week. It was like 2 weeks ago. Last time on LiveScreams. You attend university? Yeah, although I'm thinking about dropping out. Sophia, you truly are filled with surprises. You own your own land and you attend school? How jealous I am. Why don't you do the same? Oh no, I'm not allowed. Of course you are. Anyone can attend, within reason. But, well, wouldn't it get in the way of my marriage? You're engaged? Amelie shook her head. No, not yet, but I'm already 19. I'm sure my father has prepared my dowry. An arranged marriage? Yes, naturally. This is a love story across time! With ghosts. Zombie, ghost, vampire, demons. We're ticking all the boxes here. Also, did you notice the strange splotches of purple all around the room? That means something. I don't think I'll ever get married. Really? Doesn't your family object? I don't think they really mind as long as I'm happy. You don't have to either, you know. You've given me much to think about. Much indeed. Now I wonder where Alika has disappeared to. Well, it's no matter. The evening is already coming, and soon it will be dark. Shall I draw you a bath? That sounds wonderful. To be honest, I'm not hungry, so can't we skip dinner tonight? Of course, if that's what you wish. Let me show you to the bathroom. Ooh, spooky. It's dark now. Her skin almost looks normal colored. You may not believe it, but my father had taps installed. Isn't that wonderful? Like taps for a bath. That's right. We used to have our maids fill the bath, but now there's no need. Amelie, you're so strange. I have taps at my house too. Truly, you must live quite the lavish lifestyle yourself. I don't know about that. This is the bathroom. Allow me to draw the bath for you. One moment. With haste, Amelie entered the room and again filled the copper bath. It sat in the middle of a spacious bathroom. It was something Amelie was particularly proud of. She smiled as it filled before rejoining her companion. Feel free to go inside and make yourself comfortable. I will return with a towel in a moment. Thanks, Amelie. She disappeared inside the room, leaving Amelie alone in the hall. She liked the sconces, too. I originally read that as scones. I should like the scones. They're not burning. They're too dry. Where did I put those matches? Right here! Ah! You gave me a fright, Alika. Where have you been? Preparing the guest room for your dear friend and ghost. Preparing the fuck out of it. Sorry. Oh boy. It's haunted by Prince. The ghost formerly known as. Taps is what they play for the dead. Oh boy. Kind. Sophia's just preparing for a bath at present. I'm going to retrieve a towel for her from the linen closet. Amelie, I think it best you send her home post-haste. What? Why would I do that? For all you know, she brings with her the plague. Sophia says it's now safe to travel. She believes father and mother will be returning soon. I believe it's perfectly safe. What if she lies? She wouldn't do that. Sophia is a kind and good-natured person. She would not bring any danger to us. Did you know that Sophia attends a local university? She lives by herself, with no husband. She says that if I wanted, I could also study. The lady of the house should not study, Amelie. You must stay inside the house and await your parents. But I'm sure mother would want the best for me. Perhaps while I await her, I could go to inspect Sophia's school. Amelie, you must stay inside and await your parents' return. But don't you trust me? Have I ever tried to lead you astray? No, Lalika. I was just thinking that perhaps it truly is beginning to be safe. Look, I have brought today's newspaper. Do you see the title? The plague runs rampant. Put any notion of leaving or studying away for now, yes? As soon as it is truly safe to do so, then we shall, and you will be reunited with your family. For now, it is just you and me. Creepy. There's so much lore crafting going on in chat. Thanks, Lalika. I'm glad you're here. As am I. Ah, the towel! Let me go retrieve it. Go ahead. The linen cupboard was filled with various towels and bedding, all clean and properly folded thanks to Lalika. Which would suit her? Another tough decision. The pink towel or the blue towel? The pink towel or the blue towel? Well, if I remember, her circus tent had pink on it. But then, blue. Blue! Yeah. Rue says parallels between the 1918 and 2020 pandemic. I don't know. I have a feeling this is going back far further. Well, I'm going to choose the pink towel. Pink blood doesn't show as easily. You know, the further this goes on, I have to wonder if it is going to be horror or if it's just going to be, you know, like, we're from different times. This one, it reminds me of her eyes. With her chosen towel in hand, Amelie returned to the bathroom door where Lalika awaited her. Oh, here we go, folks. It's going to get steamy. You know, because of the bath. She first knocked at the door, and when there was no reply, she opened it carefully. The sound of the tap running still came from inside. Excuse me, I'm coming in. Sophia, I knocked, but didn't hear a reply. I brought you a towel. Ah! Amelie first saw a slender marble-like back. Then she noticed the blue hair that fell on those bare shoulders, one side tucked carefully behind an ear. Oh, Sophia, please forgive me. I didn't realize you had already entered the bath. No, it's okay. I'm sorry, you just surprised me. I'll leave that towel over here. Thanks. As much as it would suck to be a ghost, it would suck even more to be a ghost servant for another ghost. Did you tell her that she must depart? No, is something the matter? Are you feeling unwell? Your face is bright red. Sophia will stay until she decides to leave. As you wish. I'm sorry, Lalika, but the image of that small and beautiful back filled upon Amelie's mind. I believe it is only fair, after she traveled so far, and she is my friend. I will finish preparing the guest room. Let me come help, Sophia. When you're done in there, you can come to your room. On the other side of the door, Sophia's voice came in return. Okay, thanks, Amelie. The guest bedroom was freshly cleaned, with new linen on the bed and a lit lantern beside it. You did a fine job preparing the room so far. Thank you, Lalika. Anything for you. I was thinking, tomorrow, if the rain is cleared up, we could open the greenhouse again and have morning tea there. It's been so long since we last used it. Didn't we already speak of this? You cannot leave the house. But surely the greenhouse will be safe. No one else uses it. It is only a few steps from the back door. It is unsafe. You know this. What's gotten into you? Is it because of your friend? I just thought it would be nice to at least sit in the sun. Then you may sit by the window in the dining hall. Is it really so unsafe that even taking a foot outdoors would be dangerous? Yes. Sophia, I see you're done with the bath. Amelie shook her head, trying to remove the image that was still plastered to it. Were you talking about the greenhouse? Yes. Did you see it when you arrived? I did, but it looked as if the plant inside had died. Oh, that's impossible. It's barely been any time at all since the gardeners left. It's not like I'm a ghost or anything. I'm sure the plants inside are more sturdy than that. Well, even if they have died, maybe we could go in and replant some things tomorrow. How wonderful! Have you not heard a word I said? It is unsafe to do so. Oh, don't be such a spoilsport. I think it would be perfectly fine. Oh, it's getting late now, so I'll leave you to retire. If you need anything, my room is just upstairs on the left. Good night, Sophia. Lolika left first. The door, which was still hanging slightly open, shifted as she went. Amelie, would you stay for a while? Is something the matter? Just a little homesick. Sophia sunk into the bed, sighing as her head hit the pillow. Of course, why don't we chat for a while? Then come join me. Sophia gently pet the spot beside her in the bed. In the bed? Okay. The bed was still rather firm, unused by many guests. Amelie took a deep breath to calm her racing heart before she finally looked towards Sophia. Thanks for staying with me for a while. It's nothing to worry about, truly. I wanted to spend more time with you, too. Really? You don't find me boring? You are the most interesting person I've ever met. Don't be silly. I am being completely honest. You truly are so unique. I think the same about you. I've never met anyone like you, really. Now, do you think Amelie's the ghost, Lolika's the ghost, or they're all ghosts? Jim says, you think that when Sophia got the pen pal letters, the fact they were written in blood should have clued her in. Red ink was very easily procured. And most ink smells metallic, like iron. I've never met anyone like you, really. You wrote so much about yourself, and yet seeing you in person, I fear there is still so much I don't know. There's plenty of time for us to tell each other everything. And tell me something about yourself, something you've never told anyone. I'm partially blind in my right eye. Really? How well can you see? It's okay, it's just a little blurry, really. You tell me something. Oh, when I was 12, I stole the cookie jar from the kitchen and blamed my brother. He was scolded for hours. What a mischievous child. I'm sure your brother wasn't all too pleased. Actually, it was his idea. He knew I wanted it and told me to tell my parents it was him if I was asked. What a good brother. Where is he now? Did he go away with your parents? He's dead! Amelie shook her head. He died when he was 16. Oh, I'm so sorry, Amelie. What happened? Bloody hell, Shane. Scarlet fever, so my family was left with only me as an heir. And what worth is a female heir? You're worth plenty, more than plenty. Thank you, Sophia, but some days I am unsure. It's your turn again. Truthfully, I said before I didn't want to get married, but that's not exactly right. I do. Oh? I just don't want a husband. Then, I'm sorry, does it make you uncomfortable? No. I have also thought that I don't want a husband. God. I was prepared for a ghost story, but a lesbian ghost story? That's just taking things too far. Whenever my father has brought it up, I felt sick to my stomach. How about coming away with me for a while? Away? Outside of the house? What about the sickness? Can we get down with the sickness? Ooh-ah! It's okay now. You'll be okay. You could come stay in my house. I could show you around my school. You don't have to go through an arranged marriage if you don't want to. You would do that for me? You are my dearest friend, and I actually... Lolika? At some point, the two women had gotten close enough together that they could feel each other's breath on their lips. The two parted with reddened cheeks, Amelie quickly brushing her skirt off and standing up. I should be going to bed. Please rest well. We can talk more about it in the morning. Right? Right. Good night, Amelie. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. This is literally the basketball game. Well, as long as you guys are having fun. Okay, I think it's time for me to take a break, so I'll ask you, should I continue with this game when I come back from break, or would you like me to move on and play something else? Up to you. I mean, it seems you guys are having fun. I'm not bored at all. As I said, the writing and the music is quite good, and you know, it could be a ghost story. It could be a love story. We don't know. What could it be? Ghost, get it on. Trumpet. Okay. Hey, well, Darkax wants to see more. What about the rest of you? Jim, don't careful with those trumpet emojis. I will play more Trombone Champ. That seemed to go over quite well last time. Dear God, that game. Okay, well, you guys, I'll click save here. Boop. And I'll go take my break, and you guys let me know what you want. And when I come back, we'll either continue or we'll move on. And I'll leave the music going. And I return. Hurrah! Wee! Rah! Yay! Woo! Up. Go away. There we go. So Shane is like, yay. Rue's curious about the lore. Jim says something about the music is very haunting. Yes. Yes. Voting the only whatever her name is the only ghost. Not only is just weird. Okay. Well, I mean, if you've ever seen the film Amelie, because that's what I think of when I think of the name, and the character is very odd. Okay. Well, let us continue. Let's see the dressing down she's about to get from her ghost friend. Lalika, it is late. You should retire to your bedroom. Yes, I shall. It's nice having someone else around, isn't it? Feels as if the manor is coming back to life. I hope we see Mother and Father soon. I'm sure we will. Shall I see you to bed? Yes, please. The hallway was darkened with only a few sconces and candles lit along the way. Usually that would fill Amelie with a sense of comfort, but right now the flickering flames seemed to make her feel distressed. Whether that was because of the way her mind was racing or the way her heart was beating, she didn't know. As she rose up the grand staircase, her eyes lingered on the large stained glass window. The moon shone through the colored glass, leaving a rainbow of colors over the steps. It caught her attention for only a moment before she retreated to her bedroom. Lalika, may I ask you a question? Certainly. Have you ever heard of a woman loving another woman as a woman would love a man? Where did you hear about such a thing? Nowhere in particular. It was just a thought that came into my mind. I think you are overtired because of all the excitement, Amelie. I think it best you get some rest. Yes, all right. Good night, Lalika. Good night, Amelie. Meanwhile, Lalika's like, damn it, that's what I've been thinking. But a ghost can't love a woman. Good morning, Lalika. I was just on my way to see if Sophia has awakened yet. Amelie? Sophia disappeared during the night. I believe she went to the same place your parents went. Oh! But why are the sheets all red? That was left behind when she ran away. Oh, jeez. What? That cannot be right. Don't run, Amelie. Amelie dashed down the hall and knocked quickly on the door to the guest bedroom, which fell open with no resistance. Saw how the bedding was disheveled and her luggage was strewn about. It's not true. She wouldn't just leave without saying goodbye. Dear me, I'm sorry. I told you it was a bad idea for anyone to visit, didn't I? Oh, Lalika, this isn't fair. I thought she said we would. There, come here. Lalika wrapped her thin arms around the young woman, gently patting her on the back. See, you shouldn't depend on anyone else. I'm here. I won't ever leave you. Amelie clutched her back, tears already falling from her eyes. We'll be together forever. Forever. Oh, there we go. Forever. Yay, and that's ending one. Oh, I knew we should have picked oolong tea. Well, now we get Sophia's story. Oh, but I see. 1 out of 1. Right, so this has 2 endings, and then this has 3 endings. Gotcha. Oh, boy. And with the 3 different perspectives, it reminds me of that Korean film, The Handmaiden. What phenomenal movie. If you haven't seen it, you gotta go watch that one. But yeah, kind of similar vibe. Okay, well, let's see what Sophia's story is all about. The rain never seems to cease at this time of the year. It pours from the sky in its unending grief as if longing for something unseen. Thunder roared in the distance, enough so to make the young woman flinch, but not enough to make her waver. The taxi gently rocked as the road turned to rubble, and the rubble turned to overgrown dirt track. Outside of the window, Sophia could barely see a few feet away through the raging storm. It made her feel uneasy. In her lap, a letter. She read the words again, despite knowing them off by heart. Dear Sophia, how glad I am to hear that you are well. I am healthy, although I believe I may have a problem with the heart. It has gotten quite lonely waiting here for my parents to return. I am thankful to have Lilica residing with me, but I still await the day when my family will be reunited. But you say that it's safe enough for you to visit, truly? I've never even dared to dream of being able to see you in the flesh. If it is true, then I will await you at the address written on the back of this letter. Yours, Amelie. You sure you have the address right? We're in the middle of nowhere. Sophia stared at the fragile handwritten address that Amelie had left her, had trusted to her. Yes, this is the right way. I'm sure of it. Her heart wouldn't settle. Meeting what could be a stranger in the middle of nowhere on a day like this. Who wouldn't be nervous? Yet there was something else. Eagerness, a thrill, something beyond mere nerves that turned into excitement. She could barely imagine the hand that had penned the letters she had been receiving for years on end, let alone a face. But for some reason, her heart still beat hard when reading the words that the mysterious young lady of 19 from a manor far out in the middle of nowhere wrote to her. Desperate to calm her jitters, she pulled out her phone looking to send her worried family one last message of reassurance, only to find that it wouldn't switch on. I'm sure it was fully charged. The rain was falling even more heavily now. In the distance, a building sprang into view. It was surrounded by a tall metal fence, an ornate gate firmly shut at the front. Just then, the taxi sputtered and rolled to a stop, smoke rising from the hood. What the? I had this serviced a week ago. Is something wrong? Sorry, miss. Looks like we're out of action. It's okay. I think we're nearly there anyway. Pulling the cash from her wallet, she handed over her Man, you hear that? The rain's on a looping track, and when it stops, there's like a brief second where before it starts back up again. So, and yeah. Pulling the cash from her wallet, she handed over her fare and stepped out of the car. The rain bucketed down from above, soaking her to the very core. She shivered as she dashed towards the iron gate. Surprisingly, it pushed open with little effort, not even a creak. My fully charged phone died. Well, that's certainly not a sign of ghosts. And the taxi stopped working as well. It's almost like they're no longer in present day, present time. Sophia stopped in front of the large wooden door, finally freed from the seemingly never-ending downpour. From afar, that door had seemed inviting enough, and that looked awfully large and imposing, and yet she raised her fist and knocked anyway. Silence followed. Is this not the right place, after all? The door swung open, this time with a low, menacing groan. Oh man, that rain loop is going to drive me bonkers when it cuts out for that brief second. On the other side of that doorway was a fair girl with long brown hair and golden eyes. Sophia, forgetting the fact that she was soaking wet, rushed forward and embraced the girl. Amelie! Sophia! Amelie's gentle arms wrapped around Sophia's back in return, and finally all Sophia's worries melted away. My, you're completely drenched. Did you forget your umbrella, perchance? Or perhaps her umbrella got carried away by the wind. Behind Sophia, the front door swung shut without any assistance. I didn't even think to bring an umbrella. The forecast said sunny all day. My fault for believing it, I guess. I can't believe you're truly here. Me either. About time, right? You're just as pretty as I knew you'd be. And you too. But what are you wearing? Seeing your house, I feel like I should have dressed up a little more. No, perhaps it is I that is overdressed. Sophia smiled. Somehow her dress sense seemed to fit her riding style perfectly. Old-fashioned, yet very neat and respectable. Did I just reference slaying? Yes, I did. I was actually thinking recently if that would hold up on a rewatch. I just remember it being very odd and confusing to my late teenage, early 20s self. Sophia felt a slight heat rising to her cheeks. She really was so refined and elegant. Pardon my manners. My dear friend Lilica is here too. I believe I wrote about her in the past. I remember. I've kept all your letters safe, don't worry. As you should. Haha, sorry, but is there any chance you have a towel? Of course, my apologies. We'd usually have someone here to attend to us, but everyone's been sent home. Only the three of us remain. Let me fetch you a towel. Amelie withdrew from the hug. She was a little taller than Sophia, despite being both the same age. Sophia peered up at her from below before she disappeared down a hallway and into another room. This really is a manor. When she told me about her house, I almost didn't believe it. A layer of dust rested against the tabletop, along with a few other items. On the settee, a newspaper sat open. Well, we gotta look at the newspaper. The settee was a deep emerald green. It looked almost unused despite its apparent age. On it rested a newspaper, opened in a few pages. Sophia turned her head to read the headline, but from afar could only read the word plague or plaque. She reached across to pick up the newspaper. Rue's typing numbers. Why numbers? She reached across to pick up the newspaper. Behind Sophia, the window began to shake in the wind as her fingertips grazed the surface. It's so windy! She spun around just in time to see the front door fly open and the howling wind filled the entryway. She scrambled to the door and with great effort shut it again. Phew! Amelie! When Sophia spun back around, the newspaper and the items on the table were all gone. Sophia? Oh, Amelie. Please, use this. Thanks. I'll bring you an umbrella next time, I promise. Sophia took the towel in her hand. It was soft, but somewhat old. She lightly dried her hair and clothes, but still found herself cold. Then, if you're now dried off, would you care for a tour of the house before afternoon tea? That sounds great. On your right is the pantry. Down that hall is the boiler room, but you shouldn't have any need for those spaces. Callbacks. Is that where the bodies are hidden, including Sophia's in the future? Dun dun dun. The two walked side by side, alone in such a big manner. Oh, I get it. Yep. Rue's referencing 1918 again. Yeah, because if there's a newspaper, it can't be too much older. Because, well, okay, the printing press is a few hundred years old, but from my understanding, there wasn't like newspapers in wide circulation until at least the late 1800s. Could be wrong on that. The two walked side by side, alone in such a big manner. These are all guest bedrooms. I have prepared this one for your use. If you find anything not to your standards, you can let myself or Lilika know. Amelie, I have a feeling your standards are much higher than mine. I've never even been in a house that looks like this. No? Is your home not similar? Well, it's a lot smaller. There is no shame in that. You own your own property, yes? Yeah, I recently bought it. I have to wonder she's like 19, 20? She recently bought property? What is she? Besides, a ghost. With your husband? What? No, of course not. I'm not married. Your father allowed you to buy property on your own? Amelie, you speak just like how you write. I'm so surprised. You speak quite casually. People usually say that about me. Being here around you makes me want to be more formal. What need is there of formality between friends? That's true too. No, my home isn't haunted by the restless dead. This is the morning room, and next door the dining room. Here's the afternoon room, where we'll be having afternoon tea in the sitting room. There's the evening room. There's the sleeping room. You mean a bedroom? No, the sleeping room. So many rooms, so little time. Upstairs, it's my bedroom, and the master bedroom, and master bedroom. Okay, I'm gonna stop riffing because most of the things that are coming out of my mouth is stupid. I must ask that you don't enter the master bedroom, as it belongs to my parents, who are currently away. When the master is away. From the landing below, Sophia could see the door to the master bedroom. For some reason, her eyes were glued to it. Come inside. Oh, that's new. Come open the door. We're waiting for you. course, I won't go poking around anyway. Sophia shook her head and time seemed to resume around her. All this walking has made me parched. Shall we take afternoon tea now? Sure, that sounds good. Why don't you have a seat while Lily and I prepare our food? Oh, I can come help. Nonsense. You're my guest. It would be remiss of you to allow you to lift the fin. Should we defy our fate? I mean, if we go down the normal path, we'll get to see what happened to her, which I'm guessing she either Lalika kills her or she goes in the master bedroom and dies. But what happens if we go help with the tea? Up to you, chat. We can defy our fate or we can continue on. Music in this is quite good. Defy! There we go. If you insist, but I'm happy to help anytime. Thank you. I will be back soon. Wait, defying your fate is just continuing? What? 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 Jim's the only one that didn't want us to defy. It's nothing. Take your time. Actually, is it okay if I ask you something? Of course it is. Is there someone else in the house with us? There's no one else apart from myself, you, and Lalika. And Lalika is... She's just gone into the kitchen. Didn't you see her enter? Is she a ghost? This man has overgasped. Okay, what was... Oh, winding the music box back up. I get you. Yep. Right, my vision must be playing up. Is something the matter? No, it's fine. I'll wait for you inside. Lalika's an imaginary friend. The room was spacious and dead silent apart from Sophia's footsteps as she crossed the wooden floor. Each step was deliberate in flow as her eyes searched through the room. Nothing in particular stood out. Large windows showed a glimpse of the outside world through thick curtains. The rain was still coming down hard, obscuring her view. The windows shook every now and then, but the wind had seemed to die down a little. Behind her, a chair at the dining table had been pulled out as if it were waiting for her to sit down. Stay forever. Amelie, was that you? Amelie? Her hand rested against her chest, begging her heart to calm. Or Lalika? Whether a hollow laugh sounded through the room or not, she wasn't sure. She quietly sat down in the seat that was left for her. The table was already set, but once again she noticed a thin layer of dust on the surface. Through the silence, Sophia could hear it again. Footsteps, but this time from directly above. The master bedroom? In front of her very eyes, Sophia watched the scene unfold. A woman, not older than 40, moved her shoes and stepped onto the table, yet nothing was disturbed. She reached up and took hold of the noose. The rope wrapped around her neck like the finest pearl necklace. Join me. The woman's eyes locked onto Sophia's. Her hand was outstretched, waiting to be taken. A rusty smell filled her nose, accented with the faint smell of perfume. Sophia shivered in response, her breath frosty on her lips. She reached for the hand slowly. I'm back! Jim's playing the hits. Sophia, well, I don't know what Defy Your Fate does. We pressed it once, so we might as well keep pressing it, right? Oh, Amelie. I'm sorry, you scared me. Is everything all right? Or maybe the whole it's not actually a button I press, it's just what's happening. I don't know, man. I don't know. This is weird and wacky. Weird and wacky. Sophia stared at the spot the woman was only a moment ago. Both she and the noose had disappeared. Well, you know what to say. No noose is good noose. Sorry. Amelie, something is the matter, isn't it? Did something happen within this room? Happen? What exactly do you mean? Did a woman with brown hair tied into a bun and a dark green dress ever live here? Well, it sounds to me like you're describing my mother. Your mother? Yes, she's just as you described, but you couldn't have seen her here. She's still away. Right. Let me pour us tea before it gets cold. Will Lalika be joining us? I believe so. Was she here a moment ago? No, she wasn't here. How strange. She told me she was coming to sit with you. Perhaps she's gotten herself busy with something else. Should we wait? There's no need. It would be sad to let the tea go cold. Sophia watched as the tea filled 2 out of 3 of the cups. The third cup sat empty. For some reason, the very sight filled her with dread. She picked up the cup and brought it to her lips. It was green tea. The taste was bitter and musty. With her heart on edge, she placed the cup back down on the saucer, smiling towards Amelie. Did you have much trouble getting here? A little. My ride broke down, so I had to walk for a bit. Broke down? I'm extremely sorry. If the staff had been here, I would have sent someone to collect you. It's okay. It's just a little rain. I just wouldn't want you catching a fever. My medicine store has been running low late. No worries. I usually carry ibuprofen with me. Ibuprofen? I haven't heard of it. Anyway, I'm glad you arrived here safely. I'll draw a bath for you later to make sure you are warmed up properly. Thank you. Amelie sipped at her tea before looking down at it with a confused expression. A little stale. I'll ask my father to procure a new batch when he arrives home. The tea is 500 years old. Where are your parents, by the way? Well, we were separated due to the plague. They took the staff to wait until a cure is found and left me here with Lilica. I've been saying Lilica, but Lilica is probably the correct pronunciation, right? As to not catch the disease. Right, I understand. I spent a lot of time separated from my family due to the pandemic, too. It warmed my heart to find another thing come with you, Sophia. I was surprised to hear that it's safe enough for you to visit. Perhaps that means my parents will be back soon, too. I think so. The world seems to be opening back up again. So, what do you do, locked up in this big house all the time? Well, I usually spend my time sewing or playing music. I used to write, well, my parents wondered if it was feminine enough. I don't really think that matters. If you enjoy it, then I say you should do it. Sophia, then what about you? Well, I'm studying art at university right now, so I guess that's what I spend most of my time on. Can I do a thing where there's got to be like an option where if we've actually already done dialogue, we can speed through it. Skip. I don't know if that means skip unseen tests or just skip to after choice. Yeah, I'm actually not sure what these mean, so I'm going to leave it as it is. Attend university? Yeah, although I'm thinking about dropping out. Sophia, you truly are filled with surprises. You own your own land and you attend school. How jealous I am. Why don't you do the same? Oh no, I'm not allowed. Of course you are. Anyone can attend, within reason. Just have to have the money. But, well, I wouldn't get in the way of my marriage. You're engaged. Amelie shook her head. No, not yet, but I'm already 19. I'm sure my father has prepared my dowry. An arranged marriage? Yes, naturally. I don't think I'll ever get married. Really? Doesn't your family object? I don't think they really mind as long as I'm happy. You don't have to either, you know. You've given me much to think about. Much indeed. Now I wonder where Lilica has disappeared to. Well, it's no matter. The evening is already coming and soon it will be dark. Shall I draw you a bath? That sounds wonderful. To be honest, I'm not hungry, so can we skip dinner tonight? Of course, if that's what you wish. Let me show you to the bathroom. Before I left the room, Sophia took one last look back at where that noose once hung. Join us. You may not believe it, but my father had taps installed. Isn't that wonderful? Like taps for a bath. Well, at least this explains Sophia's freaked out eyes all the time. Well, I also think, she smoked quite a bit before she arrived in this time period. That's right, we used to have our maid fill the bath, but now there's no need. Haha, Amelie, you're so strange. I have taps at my house, too. Truly, you must live quite the lavish lifestyle yourself. I don't know about that. Indoor plumbing! This is the bathroom. Allow me to draw the bath for you. One moment. Alone in the hallway, Sophia peered back up the grand staircase past the large stained glass window, and at that dark door shut tight. A moment later, Amelie popped back out of the bathroom. Oof, all this reading. Tough on the old throat. Feel free to go inside and make yourself comfortable. I will return with a towel in a moment. Thanks, Amelie. Water spewed from the rusted pipes into the steel-lined wooden bathtub. Everything else was silent. Sophia took careful steps forward and peered into the bath. All seemed normal. With a sigh, she finally let her shoulders relax, and in her mind, all she could see was that woman with her outstretched hand reaching toward her. She clutched her hand to her chest. It still shook. Sophia stumbled forward until her hands rested on either side of the washroom basin. Her fingers held on tight until her knuckles were bone white. It's okay, Sophia. You're just tired. Her eyes traveled up to the mirror that was embellished with a golden frame. She stared at her reflection. She was still herself. It was all a figment of her imagination. That's when she saw it. In the mirror, standing behind her, was a young woman with long blonde hair that nearly reached down to the floor and deep blood-red eyes. She didn't try to speak or make any movement. She just stared with her big dark eyes. Who? Sophia wanted to spin around to confront the girl, but her whole body was frozen stiff. The young woman finally started to move. One step at a time, maintaining eye contact through the mirror, she crept closer, closer, and closer, till Sophia swore she could feel her breath on the back of her neck. Her mouth seemed to be moving, but no words escaped her lips. Who are you? She spun around, but no one was there. The water overflowed from the tub, spilling out over the floor. Sophia rushed forward to turn off the tap, and noticed it. The water that came from the tap was red. A dark, deep red. She hurriedly turned the tap for what felt like forever, and finally it stopped. Sophia stared at the dark liquid inside the tub. Without thought, her hand dipped in. When she withdrew it, each finger was dyed red. Something about it captivated Sophia. She undressed one layer at a time, peeling away the still damp clothing and stepping forward and into the bathtub. She sank down, till everything under her shoulders was submerged in the liquid. It felt heavier than water, much heavier. As she stared directly ahead, those blood-red eyes reflected in her mind. Why not just end it here? You're scared, aren't you? Just sink down. Accept your fate. Accept it. She could no longer hear the sound of the door opening as her face sunk down into the liquid, her eyes shut. Sophia, I knocked but didn't hear a reply. I brought you a towel. Ah! Sophia's eyes sprung open. The water was clear and the tap was still running, causing it to overflow onto the floor once again. Sophia drew her knees to her chest, still facing away from Amelie's voice. Heat rose to her cheeks. Being seen like this by her. Oh, Sophia, please forgive me. I didn't realize you had already entered the bath. No, it's okay. I'm sorry. You just surprised me. I'll leave the towel over here. Thanks. The door shut again. Sophia finally turned back to look at where Amelie once stood. No one was there anymore. Not Amelie, not a woman in a long green dress, or a young lady with blonde hair. She sighed. What's going on? I said, hey, 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 hey. She sank into the water, although this time fully conscious of what she was doing. Not feeling all that much better, she stepped out and took hold of the towel that Amelie had left for her. Water fell from her body as she stared at the cloth. The towel was pink, similar to her favorite hoodie. The towel was old and full of holes and what seemed to be burn marks. Reluctantly, she wrapped it around her body. From outside the door, Amelie's voice called out to her. Let me come help, Sophia. When you're done there, you can come to your room. Okay, thanks, Amelie. Who was she helping? Lilica? She shivered. The room had become awfully cold, and the towel did little to bring her warmth. She picked up her discarded clothes and redressed. Her clothes felt foreign and wrong on her. Sophia took a deep breath, then swallowed hard. I'm okay. The hall was already darkened, with no light spilling in from the windows. A few sconces attached to the walls were lit with live flames, but offered little in the way of calming her. Step, step, step. The floor creaked under her weight. She stepped out. She stomped outside of her bedroom. Inside she could hear talking. She put her ear to the door. Didn't we already speak of this? You cannot leave the house. But surely the greenhouse will be safe. No one else uses it, and it's only a few steps from the back door. It is unsafe. You know this. What's gotten into you? Is it because of your friend? I just thought it would be nice to at least sit in the sun. Then you may sit by the window in the dining hall. Is it really so unsafe that even if taking a foot outdoors would be dangerous? Yes. Sophia opened the door and entered the room. Amelie stood by herself, making the bed. Sophia, I see you're done with the bath. Sophia looked away, thinking of what had happened in that bathroom. Were you talking about the greenhouse? Yes. Did you see it when you arrived? I did, but it looked as if the plants inside had died. Oh, that's impossible. It's barely been any time at all since the gardeners left. I'm sure the plants inside are more sturdy than that. Well, even if they have died, maybe we could go in and replant some things tomorrow. How wonderful. Have you not heard a word I said? It is unsafe to do so. Oh, don't be such a spoilsport. I think it would be perfectly fine. Do you see my friend? Well, it's getting late now, so I'll leave you to retire. If you need anything, my room is just upstairs on the left. Good night, Sophia. The door shifted before Amelie could even reach to touch it. Sophia's eyes locked in on the movement. Amelie, would you stay for a while? Something the matter? Just a little homesick. Sophia sat down on the bed before resting her head on the pillow. It was hard. Of course, why don't we chat for a while? Then come join me. Sophia gently patted the spot beside her in the bed. In the bed? Okay. Sophia looked towards Amelie in the low light. Right now she seemed hauntingly beautiful, as if she were nothing more than a ghost. Thanks for staying with me for a while. There's nothing to worry about. Truly, I wanted to spend more time with you too. Really? You don't find me boring? You are the most interesting person I've ever met. Don't be silly. I am being completely honest. You truly are so unique. I think the same about you. I've never met anyone like you, really. Her mind flashed back to all she had seen. Really, she truly had never met anyone like Amelie. You've read so much about yourself, and yet seeing you in person, I fear there's still so much I don't know. Oh, Rouge just broke into creepy laughter. What's up, Rue? There's plenty of time for us to tell each other everything. Tell me something about yourself, something you've never told anyone. I'm partially blind in my right eye. Really? How well can you see? It's okay, just a little blurry, really. You tell me something. Tell me something, she nodded. Tell me what's going on here. Tell me I'm not insane. Well, when I was 12, I stole the cookie jar from the kitchen and blamed my brother. He was schooled for an hour. Hauntingly beautiful. Ah, what a mischievous child. I'm sure your brother wasn't all too pleased. Actually, it was his idea. He knew I wanted it and told me to tell my brothers it was him if I was asked. What a good brother. Where is he now? Is he dead? Is he a ghost? Did he go away with your parents? Is it a ghost? Amelie shook her head. Damn, I've made 2 Chills references this stream. What's wrong with me? He died when he was 16. Oh, I'm so sorry, Amelie. What happened? Scarlet fever, so my family was left with only me as an heir. And what worth is a female heir? We're worth plenty, more than plenty. Thank you, Sophia, but some days I am unsure. It's your turn again. Truthfully, I said before I didn't want to get married, but that's not exactly right. I do. Oh, pardon me. Oh, I just don't want a husband. Then, I'm sorry, it doesn't make you uncomfortable. Oh, boy. All this horror is giving me indigestion. Female hair? H-E-I-R, I think, or is it I-E-R? I have also thought that I don't want a husband. Whenever my father has brought it up, I felt sick to my stomach. How about coming away with me for a while? Away? Outside of the house? What about the sickness? I'm not going to make the same joke. Yes, away from this place. It's okay now. You'll be okay. You could come stay at my house. I could show you around my school. You don't have to go through an arranged marriage if you don't want to. You would do that for me? You are my dearest friend, and I actually... Lilica, defy your fate. At some point, the 2 women had gotten close enough together that they could feel each other's breath on their lips. The 2 parted with reddened cheeks, Amelie quickly brushing her skirt off and standing up. I should be going to bed. Please rest well. We can talk more about it in the morning, right? Right. Good night, Amelie. I'll see you tomorrow. Amelie, wait a moment. Yes? What does Lilica look like? What a funny question. You've seen her plenty of times already. With my eye, I sometimes struggle a little. Right, my apologies. She has long blonde hair done up like this. Amelie pretended to put her hair into 2 low ponytails. What color are her eyes? Red, and she wears a dress of white and red eyes. Yeah, that's normal. All through life, in my 40 years on this planet, I've seen plenty of people with red eyes. She wears a dress of white and black with a red ribbon the same color as her eyes. Thank you, Amelie. Good night. See you in the morning. Oh, I'm never sleeping again. Amelie left the room. Roommate bad joke. Yeah, that's okay. I make so many of those. Meanwhile, Sophia's eyes study the space. Ah, accept your fate. Defy your fate. Accept your fate. Defy your fate. Well, we've been defying so far, so let's continue and defy. Obviously, that's the choice that leads to the second ending, so... Red eyes. Oh, that's certainly not the sign of a ghost. I think I'll go to bed. Are you here, Lilica? Silence followed. If I stay here, will I live to see tomorrow? More silence. She gulped. The flame by the side of the bed, her bed flickered wildly. Sophia laid back, shutting her eyes, but she felt as if someone was watching her, waiting and biding their time. Cold tendrils wrapped around her throat like a snake, cool like ice and getting tighter and tighter. She couldn't breathe. She couldn't even move. She opened her eyes, but no one was there. Sophia wasted no more time. She jumped to her feet and quickly shoved them back into her shoes and headed for the door. Without any resistance, outside the room the hallway was dark, lit only by a handful of candles and sconces. Sophia swallowed, then stepped out. The house was silent. Sophia took careful steps, but the floorboards still squeaked loudly beneath her. During the day she hadn't even noticed it, but now wrapped in darkness, it seemed as though small sounds would wake whatever was sleeping inside this house. Amelie, Lilica, she whispered, but heard no response. Upon being met with only more silence, her footsteps sped up. Far in the distance she heard something shift, a slight sound, one that wouldn't normally be noticed, but for Sophia it was enough to make her heart race. She sped to the end of the hall and stood at the bottom of the grand staircase. Above, her eyes honed down on two doors in particular, the master bedroom and the door to Amelie's room. Amelie? The choice was obvious. Sophia raced up the stairs and stood in front of the door to her pen pal's room. But as she went to knock, the door fell open. Amelie, are you in here? She received no reply. Sophia's head spun around. From somewhere deep in the dark, a gentle tune was being played skillfully. Her arms dropped to her side. The sound consumed her. Sophia drifted back out of Amelie's bedroom, chasing that dreamy song. Step, step, step through the darkness. All that mattered was that sound. She came to the end of the hallway. A single door stood in her way. A bookcase was pushed to the side. Without a second thought, she pulled it open. In the center of the room, surrounded by candles, Amelie sat, her skirt fanned out around her. Spread out over the floor were piles of letters. Upon closer inspection, each was filled with words that had been crossed out and signed with yours, Marion. Amelie, are you awake? Her eyes were shut tight, yet her hands moved enough to play the sorrowful tune. Please listen to me, Amelie. Lilica she isn't... I'm not what? You're going to leave her, aren't you? Sophia heard the door shut behind her. She backed up quickly and tried the handle, but it was stuck. Amelie's eyes finally opened. In place of her usual golden eyes was a glare of deep red. Amelie, snap out of it. Please, snap out of it. You want to take her away? Amelie, please. One by one, the candles blew out, and the two were plunged into darkness. Amelie's body slumped forward and crashed to the ground. It's nice to meet you, Sophia. I'm sure we're going to have a fun time living together, since you will be staying with us after all, right? Stay with us. And that's ending too. Woo! Sophia's head spun around, completely around, 360 degrees. We have to do both endings before we can go to Lilica. So, let me just save. Settings, skip. Okay, let's see if that brings us to the choice. If not, I'll work it out. Yep, there we go. Woo! Skip, 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 skip. Now let's accept our fate. For some reason, Sophia just couldn't sit still. She tried to lay down to rest, but turned this way and that, uneasy. I'll get some water. Oh, it was dark, with most of the sconces having been blown out already. Sophia stepped carefully through the space, conscious of the sound her footsteps created. The kitchen was by the stairwell. Hand-painted portraits were lined up in rows on the other side of the hall. She stared at the grand staircase. Each step was inviting, enticing her to make the ascent. Her large eyes stared once again at the imposing stained glass window, then to the doors that waited upstairs. Her hand rested against the kitchen door, her fingers dancing over the handle. It stayed there as her mind debated with itself, waiting, waiting. Come here. Come visit us. Her hand dropped to her side as she ascended, past the glass window, into the next floor. 2 doors awaited her. 2 paths in the, what was it, 2 roads in the wood? I can't remember the Frost poem. A chill ran through the air as the scene played out before her. 2 women dragged a man's body up the staircase, leaving a trail of blood on the otherwise pristine carpet. They pushed open one of the doors. The man's head hit the final step, but he made no move to stop them, nor cried out in pain. He was already long dead. The figures disappeared into the room. When Sophia blinked, the door was shut again. She trembled. The master bedroom. From behind that closed door, a voice called out to her, but the words were much too faint to make out. Her hand rested against the handle. Sophia couldn't stop it from shaking. With a careful motion, she pushed the door open. A musty smell came from further inside the dark room. Sophia peering into the darkness, quickly took hold of one of the lit candles near the room and stepped inside. A portrait sat above a large canopied bed. The curtains were pulled back, hiding whatever was inside. In the portrait, Amelie sat beside a woman with a green dress and brown hair done up to a bun. Standing behind them was a man with an imposing brow and a large beard. A family of mice ran from under the bed and out of the room. Sophia jumped inside, narrowly avoiding them. Step, step, step. Each step brought her closer to that bed. Step, step, step. Each step made her chest feel heavier, tighter. Step, step, step. She stood before the bed and reached a trembling hand to the curtains to hid whatever lay inside. Stand, stand, stand. A wind blew from somewhere unseen, and her candle extinguished. Behind her, the door shut, and the room plunged into near-complete darkness. Amelie, is that you? I'm sorry I came in here after you asked me not to. I'll just go now, okay? Her body fell forward before she had a moment to react. She trembled through the curtains and landed on something hard that rested on the bed. What? The curtains flew open and the moon shone in from outside. The body she was expecting to find was absent. In its place, 2 skeletons long ago decayed. They lay side by side, one smaller and the other larger. But now one was either side of her. Her scream pierced through the air, but no one came running. She tried desperately to squirm to run, but it felt as if something was sitting on her, holding her down. She struggled. She saw it. 2 dark red eyes hanging above her, watching. You won't take her away from me. Stab, stab, stab. She's mine. Hey. So now we can start the Lilica story. If you guys are still into this. I mean, I could, play another game. Rain never seems to cease at this time of year. Pours from the sky in its unending grief, as if a longing for something unseen. Thunder roared in the distance, enough so to make the young woman flinch, but not enough to make her waver. The woman sat beside a man with an imposing brow and a large beard. The man wheezed and coughed, but kept hold of the newspaper in his hands. The front page read the following: The Great Plague of London, 7,000 deceased. The man frowned at the words. How utterly preposterous! What on earth are the physicians doing? The lady next to him coughed into her handkerchief. When she pulled it away from her mouth, it was stained red with blood. I'm sure they are trying their best, my dear. Their best is going to kill everyone. Forget this rubbish. Amelie is still well, but finally of age to marry. We will arrange for a suitor before she becomes sick. If we send her out there, then she will certainly grow sick. She should stay here, locked in her room until it is safe to leave. No man will want a woman who has spent her only good years locked in her bedroom. Oh, jeez. But she will be safe. The lady held her cheek, which quickly reddened after the impact. The Lord glared at her behind his bushy eyebrows. You would do well to remember who she belongs to, who you belong to. The lady blinked, trying desperately to stop her eyes from welling up. Lilica, please come here. Her voice carried through the otherwise empty home. Time seemed to pause for a few moments before a woman with blonde hair cascading behind her entered the room. I should be going to bed for work tomorrow, but now I'm fascinated. Oh, I don't think this is worth your sleep, Jim, but appreciate you sticking around if you do. I mean, we've got about a half an hour before I feel like I should stop. I might not. We'll see. We might as well. I think we'll at least find one more ending. There'll be two others then. She wore the dress of a maidservant in a neutral expression that wavered just so after seeing the mark left by the Lord's hand. She stepped forward, crossing the tiled floor with slow steps that seemed to match the pace of the thunder that roared outside. The lady nodded to the maid. The maid nodded back to the lady. The moon reflected from the metal object in the maid's hand as she swung it down onto the Lord's throat. Huh. He let out a gargled scream. Blood splattered out from his mouth, and he tried to speak, tried to yell, but it was too late. He fell forward onto the floor, and the tiles darkened to a crimson red. He squirmed and crawled, searching for something that no one would ever know. Before he fell still only a few minutes later, the lady stared at the scene. Her heart raced and a laugh escaped her lips. Finally! Finally! You'll never hurt Amelie. I hope you rot in hell. The maid wiped the knife against a small white hand towel. The stains would never be fully removed. My lady, I will deal with the body. I will help you. He is too much for you to carry alone. Oh, Dorcax is back. Did you miss anything fun? You missed a lot, man. I suggest going and catching some of the replay, especially the first ending. I laughed quite a lot at that. We're now on Lilica's story. So we played through the two Sophia stories. Now we're on the first of Lilica's 3 endings. And it just pretty much started. It starts, and then she helps the lady of the house murder the lord of the house. Woo! I will help. But my lady, you are sick. Yeah, Jim, the towel, I was thinking that too. I will get no better sitting here. The two grabbed him by an arm each and dragged him towards the stairwell, leaving a trail of blood in their wake. Pink from blood. Ah, yeah. Good pickup, Rue. Just like, the tea we picked early on, that had an effect too. Gasp. No other words passed from their lips as they executed their task. They reached the end of the hall and began the ascent to the first floor. The Lord's head hit against each step with a soft thunk. Thunk, thunk, thunk. The house was silent in all other regards. 2 doors sat next to each other. Both were shut tight. As the 2 women reached the top of the stairwell, the maid pushed open the door to the master bedroom and entered. The room was spacious and clean, with fresh bedding left by the maid just the same morning. On the wall above the bed, a newly painted family picture. The 2 struggled and finally lifted the man onto the bed. His face was stuck in a terrified expression, and his clothes were ruined. You will protect Amelie, right? I'll do anything you desire. Then let us begin. Lightning struck somewhere in the distance, lighting up the otherwise darkened room and showing many things that should have been left unseen. The maid removed her shoes and crawled into the sheets beside the corpse, while the lady dipped her fingers into the Lord's wound and drew a line of blood around the bed. She spoke softly to no one in particular, chanting words that should never be chanted. A dark ritual! When she was done, she stepped over the threshold and approached the maid. Never let anyone hurt her. Protect her no matter what. I will, my lady. Thank you, Lilica. You'll never truly understand how much your actions mean to me. The lady leaned forward and left a soft kiss against the maid's lips. It was brief and gentle, something the two had wished to share for longer than either would admit. As the lady pulled away, the maid drew her knife, still smudged with blood, and brought it to her veins. Goodbye, Lilica. Goodbye, my lady. Love that sound effect. Squelch. The maid bled out slowly, painfully slowly. The lady gasped for air and clawed at her neck. Everything in the manor became still. Everything apart from a young lady named Amelie, who sat in her bed upright, feeling a deep dread in the pit of her stomach, and another young lady named Lilica, who stood over two corpses lying beside each other in bed. The young lady named Lilica stared at the maid in the bed. Her own face, her own blood seeping through the bed, and yet here she stood. She looked at herself in the mirror and saw a different person entirely. She was no longer the maid. She was Lilica. Her voice was softer, her hair longer. It worked! Yay! Woo! Happy endings for all! Great, Jim. Went downstairs and had dinner, eating food that should never be eaten. Later, they watched a movie that should never be watched. They went to bed and slept sleep that should never be slept, dreamed dreams that should never be dreamed. When she turned back towards the bed, Lilica froze. Both of the bodies were gone, and in their places, two skeletons. How long has it been? She walked towards the door and found it locked. Digging through the tattered clothes of the long-dead maid, she retrieved the key and opened it. The door beside the master bedroom sat ajar just enough for Lilica to peer in. Amelie sat on the end of her bed staring at herself in a small handheld mirror while brushing her hair. She hummed a quiet tune, but froze as her eyes met Lilica's. Who are you? I'm Lilica. Lilica, but... Your mother told me that you had a maid named Lilica. What a coincidence. What are you doing here? How long has your mother been gone? My mother, I saw her. She frowned and clutched her head as if she couldn't quite remember. I saw her just this morning. I see. Your parents have left to be cured of the plague. They have asked me to stay here with you until they can return. Really? A cure truly exists. That's right. So until then, how about we be friends? Amelie's face lit up and their eternal friendship began. Eternal. How many years had passed since that day? Neither could tell. Time seemed to stand still within that manor, out in a field in the middle of nowhere. That's the way Lilica wished it to stay. Lilica, a letter has arrived. What? Her blood ran cold as Amelie stared at the envelope in her hands. When was the last time we had a letter? How exciting. Perhaps it's Mother, writing that she will return soon? Perhaps so. Oh? It seems to be addressed to someone else entirely. Perhaps it was brought here by mistake. Then we had best send it back. Give it to me and I will have it returned. A peek wouldn't hurt, don't you think? Lilica watched as the first crack formed in her fragile world. I will dispose of it immediately. Give it to me. But it was too late. The letter inside had already been let loose, and Amelie's eyes had already taken in the words left for someone else. Sophia. Lilica, I think I will write back. I will let her know that I received the letter by mistake. That isn't needed. Please. Just one letter. Thank you, Lilica. How many letters had arrived at their doors since then? How many times had Amelie spoken excitedly about Sophia to her? Sophia. Sophia. It's always Sophia. Sophia's the crack in this fragile reality. Sophia. I have to get rid of Sophia. Lilica. Lilica's eyes opened with a jolt. I'm sorry, I'm a little tired. What did you say? Sophia says she's coming to visit. Oh. Crack. Another crack formed from the last. It sprawled across reality, threatening to shatter at any moment. Amelie, I don't think that's a good idea. The plague. She says that it's safe enough to travel now in her letter. Perhaps Mother and Father will return soon, too. Lilica forced a smile. But we don't need anyone else here. We have each other. Of course you are my dear friend, Lilica, but Sophia and I have been writing to each other for... She shook her head as if chasing off the beginnings of a headache. For a long time, anyway. I'm excited to finally meet her. Won't you be excited with me too? We can all be friends. Right, friends. I'm sure we'll all be the best of friends. For an amount of time that neither Lilica or Amelie could truly comprehend, the house was suddenly buzzing with life. Amelie's footsteps were light and her days filled with excitement as she awaited the arrival of Sophia. Finally, to Lilica's dismay, the day came. The pendulum clock on the wall swung back and forth, ticking down the time. Lilica stared at it, wishing that it would slow down even further. 10 minutes, then 20, then an hour passed as the two stood by the door, waiting for a knock. She seems to be late. Perhaps she is not coming after all, Amelie. There is no need to make such a sullen face. Mayhaps this is for the best. She wrote that she would be here, so I shall wait. With her face hidden from Amelie, Lilica scowled. Do you truly believe it's safe to have visitors during the outbreak? Lilica, I believe we have been isolated long enough. Sophia has written that it is safe. I trust her word. She would not endanger us. And if your pen pal turns out to be a robber in disguise, what then? Amelie smiled to Lilica's dismay. She has a way with words that only a woman could have. A lady robber, then. Nonsense. By the way, Lilica, have you seen my letters? I can't say that I have. A knock sounded at the door, instantly halting their conversation. Amelie rose from her place and took a steady step forward before Lilica raised a hand to her. Allow me to see if she should truly be allowed entry. The door groaned as it slowly swung open and revealed the young woman who knocked at the door. She was drenched from head to toe. Wait. Lilica stared at her, light hair and eyes. She looked almost like a kitten. Instantly, Lilica's dislike for the women grew. Lilica stepped to the side just in time for Sophia to bounce through the door and wrap her arms around Amelie. Her blood boiled. She watched as the clothes she had carefully handmade became drenched by someone unworthy, someone that didn't deserve to even look at Amelie. Amelie! Sophia! Amelie's arms wrapped around Sophia in return, and Lilica turned away. My, you're completely drenched. Did you forget your umbrella, perchance? Or perhaps our umbrella got carried away by the wind. With the cool anger written over her features, Lilica shut the door. I didn't even think to bring an umbrella. The forecast said sunny all day. My fault for believing it, I guess. I can't believe you're truly here. Me either. A bad time, right? You're just as pretty as I knew you'd be. And you too. But what are you wearing? Seeing your house, I feel like I should have dressed up a little more. No, perhaps it is I that is overdressed. Lilica stood to the side, her arms crossed lightly over her chest. Her long hair reached down nearly to the wooden floor. Pardon my manners. My dear friend Lilica is here too. I believe I wrote about her in the past. I remember. I've kept all of your letters safe, don't worry. As you should. Amelie side-eyed Lilica about hearing her tone, but Lilica simply looked away. Sorry, but is there any chance you have a towel? Of course, my apologies. We would usually have someone here to attend to us, but everyone's been sent home. Only the three of us remain. Let me fetch you a towel. Amelie disappeared down the hallway, leaving Lilica alone with Sophia. This really is a manner. When she told me about her house, I almost didn't believe it. Has no one told you it is rude to poke around someone else's house? Sophia walked straight past Lilica without even a notion of responding. Hello? You can't see me. Sophia walked towards the settee and reached for the newspaper. Don't let her touch it. Don't let her touch anything. She'll break it all. She'll undo everything. She wants to hurt Amelie. She can't find out the truth. The window shook loudly in the wind. With a flick of her small wrist, Lilica allowed the door to fly open, causing Sophia to whip around in surprise. It's so windy. Lilica locked in on the object that Sophia had been reaching for. She rushed forward and took hold of it, then quickly hid it behind a cabinet as Sophia reached to close the door. Phew! Amelie! Sophia spun around but looked straight through Lilica. Sophia? Oh, Amelie, please use this. Thanks, I'll bring an umbrella next time, I promise. Lilica watched as Sophia dried herself with a towel. Our towel. The one bathed in blood. It's not for her. That blood's not her blood, but it will be. There can't be a next time. Then if you're now dried off, would you care for a tour of the house before afternoon tea? That sounds great. On your right is the pantry. Down that hall is the boiler room, but you shouldn't have any need for those spaces. Sophia and Amelie walked side by side, close enough that their shoulders almost touched. Lilica stared at the place where they almost connected, seething with a quiet rage. These are all guest bedrooms. I have prepared this one for your use. If you find anything not to your standards, you can let myself or Lilica know. Oof. Okay. Amelie, I have a feeling your standards are much higher than mine. I've never been in a house that looks like this. No, is your house not similar? Well, it's a lot smaller. There is no shame in that. You own your own property, yes? I'll just skip through this. Shut up. Your voice disgusts me. Your words are poisoning, Amelie. Lies. You're lying. Isn't this lovely, Lilica? To have a new face in the house, it feels like forever. Pardon? The golem. Made go Stephen. My precious. Yes, how lovely. I'm glad you are having fun at the very least. Are you not? I'm always having fun when we're together, Amelie. Sever fate. Ah, I see. Are you jealous? Are you not, my dear friend? Of course, our friendship means just as much to me. I value you greatly. Just as much? Indeed. Come along, Lilica. Let us prepare tea. Amelie, I have something to say to you. You are my very best friend, did you know that? I feel the same towards you, Lilica, and as such I feel the need to be truthful with you. You appreciate the truth, don't you? Of course I trust your judgment very much. Is something the matter? Lie, or lie? Should I lie or lie? But what about lie? I think I'm going to pick lie. Your mother contacted me. She believes they will be able to return shortly. Oh, Lilica, this is wonderful news. Indeed, she was very excited for me to pass on her message to you, but... Keep lying. Well, I could keep lying, or keep... Okay, this joke has run its course. It's lay in that context. They're not going to sleep. Not yet. Well, she wasn't pleased to hear that you had someone visiting without her permission. Oh, I thought she would be delighted that I had invited a friend. Now, should I pick your entire, should I pick existences, or should I pick a lie? I like existences. It's open-ended. Of course, I pleaded with her that Sophia was a dear friend, but she wouldn't listen. I see. Did she say when she would return? No, but it seems to be soon. Then I'll send Sophia away like normal tomorrow. I can't exactly force her out into the storm, can I? Why not? Lilica. Naturally, I'm just teasing. Of course, it wouldn't be right to send her away at a time like this. I'm glad to hear that we've come to an agreement. How pleased I am to know that Mother will return soon. Let's go prepare tea, shall we? Did you finish the baking yesterday? The pastries are ready for serving. Excellent. I'll just fetch the tea then. Allow me. A lady of your standing shouldn't be doing such a menial task, should she? Don't be absurd. Even Sophia herself seems to be fine in the kitchen. Did you hear her? She jumped to help. I should follow in her footsteps. What would your parents think of that? I appreciate the sentiment, but they took with them all the staff. I have little choice but to prepare my own tea. Ghosts don't eat or drink, silly. I see. Then shall I attend to our guest? I wouldn't want her to become lonely. Would you? I'll only be a few moments. Of course, anything for you, Amelie. It will be a good chance for you to become friends, too. I'm sure it will be. Lilica's smile at that moment seemed to hide behind it an intent much deeper than Amelie realized. The walls had eyes. Literally. Eyes that tracked Lilica's every move. They followed her as she made careful, deliberate steps towards the sitting room. They stared, their eyes bulging, judging. They had no mouths in which to scream, but Lilica could still hear their words. We all sacrificed ourselves for you. Hope, our only hope. Amelie, Protect Amelie. Prove your worth. Prove your love. Amelie. 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 Under her feet, shattered glass pierced through her shoes, cutting her feet. Ugh. And that sound, too. She could feel the blood ooze out, pooling. It was warm, comforting. She looked up to find where the glass had come from. Then she noticed the cracks once again, along every wall, every floorboard, even through the air. The world was fragmented. It was already broken. Not beyond repair, it's not, my lady. I will fix this still. You can rest. Please rest. I will take care of everything. Yeah, the visuals, the sound on point. This has been pretty damn good so far. Anything and everything for you. She blinked. You know what I like most about those visuals? The creator obviously had an eye for detail. There we go. The world reverted to the way it should. The glass that lined the floor, gone. The eyes that followed from the walls, gone. And the cracks that had begun to wrap themselves around Lilica's ankles had disappeared too. She stood in front of the sitting room's door, which sat slightly ajar. Inside, Lilica could see Sophia staring out of the large window. Her back stayed turned as Lilica entered the room. Of course, it wouldn't have been possible for Sophia to turn and look at her, but Lilica still found herself taking careful, quiet steps. The window shook past the dark, thick curtains. You who would attempt to defy your fate, why don't we see how long this little game lasts? Why don't we test whose love is stronger? I swear my love is unwavering, my infatuation, my yearning, my desire. You could never even wish to match it. Are all these eye puns stymieing you? Lilica pulled out a chair roughly, dragging the legs across the floor. Yet you dared to challenge me. You dared to test my love. Amelie, was that you? Amelie? Sophia took careful steps toward the chair, resting her hand against it. Or Lilica. You're nothing. Sophia sat down in the chair that was offered to her, while Lilica circled around as if a cat after its prey. But her steps paused as she heard something strange. Footsteps from above. The master bedroom? In front of her very eyes, Lilica watched the scene unfold. A scene that made her blood run cold and her body freeze in place. My lady! The lady of the house stood beside Lilica, where before the two had stood eye to eye. Now the lady stood taller than Lilica by at least a head. My lady, what are you doing here? The lady removed her shoes and stepped onto the table. Did you come to punish me? Are you angry? I promise I will remove the plague that has entered our home. I swear it upon my undying love. The lady did not respond. Instead, she reached up and took hold of the noose. I'll tell you, this scene in particular, with the classical music, like the piano and the noose and the Victorian era Gothic home, getting vibes of The Seventh Guest. Now, that's a series I'd love to do a video, like retrospective on Sunday. The rope wrapped around her neck, exactly where the necklace that the maid had gifted the lady should have rested. Join me. Her eyes locked onto Sophia's. Her hand was outstretched, waiting to be taken. Why won't you look at me, my lady? Are you truly so angry? Angry enough to despise me? For but a moment, as Sophia's outstretched hand came closer and closer, the lady's eyes turned slowly towards Lilica. They carried with it a message that only Lilica could decipher. Lilica's body shook, trembled and trembled, till she could bear it no more. She ran from the room as fast as her legs would carry her. If the hallway still had eyes, they weren't fast enough to follow Lilica. The floorboards, as if made of quicksand, threatened to suck her up and bury her deep within the house. Her feet felt heavy and leaden. Every step was as painful as that brief glance. She raced through the hall and up a flight of stairs, past the stained glass window, which left a myriad of colors over the carpeted steps, and past the doors that led to the master bedroom and Amelie's room. Ooh. Oh boy. Too much reading. Damn it. closer, closer, till she arrived at a bookcase. She pushed it to the side and entered the hidden room. The room behind the bookcase was small, and not a single window faced outwards, thus the room was near pitch black. Each wall was plastered with handwritten letters clearly for Lilica alone. Her eyes, frantic, finally started to calm as she took in the words. Her words, words left to her, for her, only for her. Lilica's eyes settled on a particular letter. Look left, look right, look ahead. Let's go in order. Look left. Dear Amelie / Lilica, how wonderful to hear that you're doing well. I've been very busy this week, but most of it is boring, so I won't bog you down with the details. But do you know what happened just yesterday? Of course you don't. You weren't there. I was walking home when I found an abandoned kitten. Someone left it in a box on the side of the road. How could anyone do that? Anyway, I took her home. I named her, Lily, after you. It's a little embarrassing writing it out like that. I hope you don't mind. Yours, Sophia / Miriam. Dear Lilica, I spent the past week studying. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy it, but everyone needs a break, you know. On my desk, I have a little cactus in a pot. To be honest, a cactus wasn't my first choice, but I've killed every other plant I've ever owned. Anyway, it bloomed. There's one beautiful flower coming out of it. I couldn't be happier. So that makes studying easier. I think your environment makes a big difference. How about you? Do you have any plants? I'm looking forward to hearing about it next time. Yours, Sophia / Marion. Dear Amelie / Lilica, today was tough. I tried my hardest, but I still failed. Don't you think life is unfair sometimes? I was trying hard enough was all it took to succeed. Sorry I'm whinging, aren't I? I came out of my interview and it was raining. I thought just my luck, but something interesting happened. A rainbow in the distance peeked out from behind the gray clouds. It reminded me of you, and then I felt a little better. I hope we can meet soon. Yours, Sophia / Marion. She ripped the letter from the wall and clutched it to her chest, collapsing to her knees. She couldn't hate me. She couldn't. She adores me like I adore her. She entrusted her everything to me. Everything. Her everything. Amelie. The letter dropped from her fingers that were neither cold nor warm. You want me to get rid of that disease, don't you? You want to accept me until I protect Amelie. Is that right, my lady? I'd do anything you ask. So if that's all I have to do, then I will do it. I'll keep Amelie safe forever. Lilica stood from the ground and dusted off her skirt. Her face that had previously contorted in distress had finally calmed, and a smile gently crept onto her face. I love you, my lady. For you, I will love Amelie too. I should like the sconces too. Where did I put those matches? Right here. Ah! You gave me a fright, Lilica. Where have you been? Preparing the guest room for your dear friend, of course. How kind. Sophia's just preparing for a bath at the present. I'm going to retrieve a towel for her from the linen closet. Amelie, I think it's best you send her home post-haste. What? Why would I do that? For all you know, she brings with her the plague. Sophia says it is now safe to travel. You say Mother is returning soon. Should be perfectly fine, don't you think? What if she lies? She wouldn't do that. Sophia's a kind and good-natured person. She would not bring any danger to us. Did you know that Sophia attends a local university, and she lives by herself with no husband? She says that if I wanted, I could also study. Study? Study. She wants to leave? Leave the house? No, she can't leave. She can't go anywhere. She belongs here. She was entrusted to me. The lady of the house should not study, Amelie. You must stay inside the house and await your parents. But I'm sure Mother would want the best for me. Perhaps while I await her, I could go to inspect Sophia's school. Amelie, you must stay inside and wait your parents' return. But don't you trust me? Have I ever tried to lead you astray? No, Lilica. I was just thinking that perhaps it truly is beginning to be safe. Look, I have brought today's newspaper. Do you see the title? The plague runs rampant. Put any notion of leaving or studying away for now, yes? As soon as it is truly safe to do so, then we shall. You will be reunited with your family. For now, it is just you and me. Thanks, Lilica. I'm glad you're here. As am I. Ah, the towel. Let me go retrieve it. Go ahead. Alone, Lilica stared at the bathroom door, which was shut tight. Behind it, she could hear the water running. She could picture Sophia's body slowly shedding its layers of clothes before she stepped into the hot water. That image was enough to force her hand. Okay. So I need a rest. So here's what I'm going to do, because I have a feeling like we're nearing the ending. And I don't want to leave this for next time, because I don't think that'd work if we just start playing. So I'm going to save. Oh. And as this creepy music plays, I'm going to take another break. And then we're going to run this to the end. Hopefully, it won't take the whole hour. But we'll run it to the end, and then we'll stop there. So I'm going to go have a quick break. And, Jim, if you need to go to bed, if anyone else needs to leave, please do so. The replay will be up. You can watch it at your own leisure. But for everyone who's sticking around, I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Okay, a return. Okay. Are you ready for some ghost story? Woo! Okay, here we go. A state-of-the-art system. No one in the country owned anything like it. But how many years ago was that? How long had it been? Sophia leaned over the sink, her bone-white knuckles grasping either side of it. Her back was turned to Lilica. If she wanted, she could stab her in the back and be over with it. No. I need to keep Amelie's trust. She needs to leave and go somewhere she'll never be found. Or do it herself. Sophia lifted her face to the mirror, then froze. Her eyes bored into it, as if she was seeing something she shouldn't. Lilica stared back, unmoving. Leave. Leave already. Who? One step at a time, maintaining eye contact through the mirror, Lilica crept closer, and closer, until the two were nearly touching. Why do you want to take Amelie away? Oh, why do you want to take Amelie away? Can't you see that she loves me? Me, not you. Your words are poisoning this household. If you don't leave, I'll kill you. I'll have no choice. I'll just kill you. Who are you? Sophia whipped around, but her eyes didn't focus on any spot in particular. To her, Lilica was gone. Lilica walked towards an open cabinet and pulled something out. The metal of the razor glinted. Lilica raised it up as she moved to stand over the bath. With ease, the metal cut into her arm. Drops of blood fell into the water, leaving tiny splashes where they connected. Blood still runs in my veins, after all. Sophia rushed past Lilica, desperate to turn off the overflowing water before she froze once again. The water was a deep dark red. Her slender fingers dipped into the liquid as if she were entranced. One layer at a time, she stripped bare, her expression hollow and lifeless. Lilica watched as her naked body stepped into the crimson water. Why not just end it here? You're scared, aren't you? Just sink down. Accept your fate. Accept it. You can hear me now, can't you? Why not just end it? You're scared. You're so terrified. You just came here to see your friend, and look at what's happened to you. Amelie. Yes, Amelie. Amelie, where did you go? Where are you, Amelie? I want to see you. Shut up. You don't deserve to speak her name. You don't deserve to be in her presence. Why don't you just give up? Just sink deep into the abyss. Isn't it inviting? Sink. Right, I should. Isn't the water so warm and inviting? That's right. Just sink down into it. Then you'll finally be able to rest. Amelie, you... A knock came from the door. Lilica's widened eyes went from the door to the young woman in the bath and back again. Excuse me, I'm coming in. Lilica ducked behind the folding screen just in time to hear the door open. Sophia, I knocked but didn't hear a reply. I brought you a towel. Huh? She didn't wait any longer. As Amelie stepped into the room to set down the towel, Lilica quickly dashed out into the hall. Huh? Before Lilica had a chance to even catch her breath, the bathroom door opened once again and Amelie stepped out with flushed cheeks. Did you tell her that she must depart? No, why? Is something the matter? Are you feeling unwell? Your face is bright red. Sophia will stay until she decides to leave. No, she must leave now, tonight, no longer. As you wish. I'm sorry, Lilica, but I believe it is only fair. After she traveled so far, she is my friend. That woman, that siren, look what she does to our Amelie. I will finish preparing the guest room. Let me come help, Sophia, when you're done in there. Oh, let me come help. Sophia, when you're done in there, you can come to your room. From the other side of the door, Sophia's voice came in return. Okay, thanks, Amelie. The guest bedroom was freshly cleaned, with new linen on the bed and a lit lantern beside it. Fortunately, Lilica had prepared the room well in advance. You did a fine job of preparing the room so far. Thank you, Lilica. Anything for you? I was thinking, tomorrow, if the rain is cleared up, we could open the greenhouse again and have morning tea there. It's been so long since we last used it. By now, a dozen cracks stemmed from a dozen other cracks, filling the entirety of Lilica's world. At any moment, even a breeze would make everything collapse. Didn't we already speak of this? You cannot leave the house. But surely the greenhouse would be safe. No one else uses it. It is only a few steps from the back door. It's unsafe. You know this. What's gotten into you? Is it because of your friend? I just thought it would be nice to at least sit in the sun. Then you may sit by the window in the dining hall. Is it really so unsafe that even taking a foot outdoors would be dangerous? Yes. Sophia, I see you're done with the bath. Lilica crossed her arms over her chest, anger already rising in her chest. Were you talking about the greenhouse? Yes. Did you see it when you arrived? I did, but it looked as if the plants inside had died. Oh, that's impossible. It's barely been any time at all since the gardeners left. I'm sure the plants inside are more sturdy than that. Well, even if they have died, maybe we could go in and replant some things tomorrow. How wonderful. Have you not heard a word I said? It is unsafe to do so. Oh, don't be such a spoil sport. I think it would be perfectly fine. Well, it's getting late now, so I'll leave you to retire. If you need anything, my room is just upstairs on the left. Good night, Sophia. Poison dripped from her voice as Lilica left the guest room behind. The house had a heart. That heart was beating to the same rhythm as Lilica's. It was frenzied, on the verge of losing control. It echoed through her head, through the hall, through to every corner of the building. Like Morse code, it was as if the house itself was telling her to do something. Get rid of her. Cut out the disease. Protect Amelie. She bit her thumb, pacing back and forth. Amelie will be upset. But Amelie doesn't need anyone else. She has me. She won't be upset for long, and she'll forget. That's right, she'll forget. Her breath hitched in her throat. But what do I do? What do I do? She just won't die. My lady, what am I supposed to do? At that moment, Lilica put her ear to Amelie's door, listening intently. How about coming away with me for a while? Away? Outside of the house? What about the sickness? Away? Outside of the house? It's okay now, you'll be okay. You could come stay at my house. I could show you around my school. You don't have to go through an arranged marriage if you don't want to. Lilica's hands balled into fists at her side. You would do that for me? You are my dearest friend, and I actually, you think you can take her away from me? Lilica's balled fist slammed against the door. Each one sent a pain shooting up her arm all the way to her shoulder. Inside the voices went quiet. Destroy her fate. She doesn't belong to you. Lilica? Finally, Lilica snapped out of her daze. At some point, Amelie had left the guest bedroom and was standing a short distance away from her, looking worried. Instantly, she took a deep breath and composed herself, but her heart still beat as loud as a drum. The cracks that seemed to be centered around Amelie were still spreading at an increasing rate. Is it late? You should retire to your bedroom. Yes, I shall. It's nice having someone else around, isn't it? Feel as if the manor is coming back to life. I hope we see Mother and Father soon. I'm sure we will. Shall I see you to bed? Yes, please. The hallway was darkened, with only a few sconces and candles lit along the way. Lilica relished in it. On a night like this, long ago in the past, she had sealed her fate along with Amelie's, and tonight she would seal the fate of yet another person. The two rose up the grand staircase side by side. Moonlight drifted in through the stained glass window. This seemed to be the only place free from those cracks. If she squinted, she could almost see it, almost hear it. That head hitting each step with a loud thunk. Those eyes would never open again to look upon a woman with scorn. That hand would never be raised to leave a mark on pristine skin. This hand filled her with joy, and the thought of repeating that fateful night left her footsteps light with excitement. Lilica, may I ask you a question? Certainly. Have you ever heard of a woman loving another woman as a woman would love a man? Where did you hear about such a thing? Nowhere in particular. It was just a thought that came into my mind. I think you are overtired because of all the excitement. Amelie, I think it best you get some rest. Yes, all right. Good night, Lilica. Lilica, who was seated on the edge of Amelie's bed, stood with unsteady feet. Standing in the doorway, she looked back at Amelie. Good night, Amelie. Sleep well. Tomorrow, everything will be better. Lilica stepped out of the bedroom, shutting the door softly behind her. The hall was still dark, with only a few candles to light her descent. It was quiet. Everything was asleep. The eyes that followed Lilica wherever she went were closed. The voices that crept up from between the floorboards were silent. Somehow, that only made Lilica more uncomfortable. But that didn't matter. Not now. She knew where she was going and what she must do. She inched closer and closer to that door that held behind it a sickness named Sophia. It was closed tight. Lilica raised her hand, almost as if to knock, but instead pushed it open and entered. Just as the hallway was dark, so was the guest bedroom. The lantern had been blown out only a short while ago. No sound came from the bed. All was still. Lilica crept closer, closer, and closer, till she stood over the bed like a shadow. The woman underneath her kept her eyes shut tight. Her face was calm and serene. Lilica couldn't help but smile as her hands wrapped around her fragile, pale neck. Her fingers dug into Sophia's flesh, so soft and easily bruised. Still, she didn't even shift. For some reason, that made Lilica even more furious. But as the young woman named Sophia laid as still as a statue, her mind wandered back to another that had once done the same in this very house. A young woman who had left Amelie in Lilica's care, who had only wanted the best for her daughter, had only wanted for her to be happy. The problem is she'll leave. That's the problem, isn't it, my lady? The cold fingers slowly unwound from Sophia's throat. That she'll leave and take Amelie away. But if she stays, then won't Amelie be happy? She'll be so happy. Always. Forever. And then maybe you can. Lilica withdrew from the room in a rush, her feet carrying her faster than they ever had before. Through the hall, up the stairs, into Amelie's bedroom once more. The bed was warm and inviting. Lilica enveloped herself in that heat, wrapping her arms around Amelie tightly. Lilica, do you want Sophia to stay here forever? What? She will leave if we don't do anything about it. She'll leave and you'll never hear from her again. That's not true, Lilica. She wouldn't just do that. My dear Amelie, I spoke to her just a moment ago. She was already packing up her bags. That Amelie rubbed at her eyes and sat up. Can't be true. Go check for yourself. Amelie, not wasting even a single moment, walked towards her door and peered down. From here, the moon was shining in through the stained glass just right, illuminating the hallway below. In the distance, a shadow could be seen moving. Lilica smiled. See? Lilica picked up a toy doll that still sat on Amelie's bed, a relic from the past. Its straw-colored hair almost seemed to stand on end. Don't you want to keep her here? Don't you want her to be like this doll? Keep her here. Right. Your own special doll who will never leave you. Don't worry, I'll make it happen, just for you. I'll make sure you're happy forever. Go down the hall, to my room, behind the bookcase. Wait for me. Amelie's eyes had glazed over, as if she wasn't truly there. She stood from the bed and picked up a small black case that rested on her nightstand before leaving the room. It wasn't long afterwards that Lilica followed in her footsteps, just in time to see Sophia ascending the staircase. She walked straight past Lilica, who was smiling happily, and approached Amelie's door. As she knocked, the door fell open with a groan. Amelie, are you in here? Amelie's waiting for you. From somewhere hidden in the darkness, a fragile melody filled the air. Almost instantly, Sophia turned towards the sound and began to follow. Lilica sped up enough to walk beside her. Isn't this great? You like Amelie, don't you? Don't you want to make her happy? She would be ecstatic for you to stay forever. So why didn't we help her to be happy forever? She offered no answer. They entered the room together. In the center of the room, surrounded by candles, Amelie sat, her skirt fanned out around her. Spread out over the floor were piles of letters. Upon closer inspection, each was filled with words that had been crossed out and signed with yours, Marion. Amelie, are you awake? Her eyes were shut tight, yet her hands moved enough to play the sorrowful tune. Please listen to me, Amelie. Lilica she isn't. I'm not what? You're going to leave her, aren't you? Lilica shut the door, dragging the heavy lock across. In response, Sophia rushed backwards and tried the handle to no avail. Amelie's eyes finally opened. In place of her usual golden eyes were a glare of deep red. Amelie, snap out of it. Please snap out of it. You want to take her away? Amelie, please. One at a time, Lilica blew out the candles on the floor. The room was plunged into darkness. Amelie fell forward, her body exhausted. It's nice to meet you, Sophia. I'm sure we're going to have a fun time living together. Since you will be staying with us after all, right? And now the happy ending, where they're all dead together. Lilica, could you pass the sugar? Of course, Amelie. With a smile, Lilica pushed the sugar across the table towards Amelie. She picked up the teaspoon and dropped a single cube of sugar into her tea. Would you like one, Lilica? No, thank you. Just being around you makes my tea sweet enough. And you, Sophia? You're awfully quiet today. I'll just give you one. Next to Amelie sat Sophia, perfect and pristine, to Amelie's eyes at least, but Lilica saw the truth. Her flesh convulsed and pulsated, and her eyes bulged from what was once her head. The shape of Sophia was gone, and in its place was a mound of a person who used to be. Lilica smiled. You know she likes sugar in her tea. There's no need to ask. You're right. I'm so happy. Sophia, Lilica, you are both so important to me. Thank you for being by my side. Anytime. Isn't that right, Sophia? From now on, it's just the three of us. The three of us. Part of me is glad that we didn't get an image of what Sophia looked like, but part of me kind of wanted to see it. Woo, woo. Okay, well, you got two endings to go. Da 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 da. I'm not going to sever her fate and see what happens. Do 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 do. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Oh wait, did I? This is a different thing. Hold on. Okay. Wait. Okay. No, I don't think I've overstepped anything. Okay, yeah. Now we got two choices. Okay, so we can allow her fate. It doesn't belong to you. Snapped out her days. Amelie had left the guest bedroom, standing a short distance away, looking worried. Composed herself, but her heart still beat as loud as a drum, and the cracks that seemed to be centered around Amelie were still spreading at an increasing rate. It's late. You should retire to your bedroom. Mm-hmm. Huh. Okay. As her hand rested against the door, a sudden pang went through Lilica's cold heart. She is important to you, isn't she? Of course, her words have always been something that brightened my day. The text is different color, different font. Even if she were to leave? Well, I believe she'll leave eventually, Lilica. There's little choice, really. All I can do is hope she'll visit again. I see. Good night, Amelie. Sleep well. Whatever Amelie said in reply was lost in the darkness as Lilica stepped out of the bedroom. She left the room. She noticed it. Dark shadows stalking through the night, slowly creeping through the hall. Lilica frowned. My lady, you must forgive me. I've rarely seen Amelie so happy. She cannot stay. No, she must leave immediately, and I will make her. She stood on the grand staircase outlined in the moon's glow. Sophia, you can't see me, can't hear me, but you can sense me, can you not? Shadow paused, her eyes going up to the staircase. There she saw a shadow warp strangely across the carpeted steps. You will leave this place immediately, and you will never come back. Lilica? Blonde girl pushed a vase from a step and crashed to the ground below, smashing into tiny pieces. Sophia jumped in response, a shiver running down her spine. I won't warn you again. Leave. Slowly and unsteadily, Sophia crept up the stairs until her face was almost close enough to touch Lilica's. Is that you, Lilica? A small motion, Lilica dropped something from her sleeve. It clattered to the ground at Sophia's feet. She gripped at her shirt even more tightly. This is your last chance. I don't care whether you live or die. This is only a favor to Amelie. As if her nerves had finally got the best of her, Sophia turned on the spot and ran back down the staircase into the dark hall. Lilica followed behind her, slamming doors and knocking these down to the ground. Sophia, too scared to even turn around, ran as fast as her legs would take her until she reached the front door. Instead of being locked and closed up tightly, it sat open as if waiting for her to leave. She didn't waste even a single second more. She was gone. She's gone. Gone. I didn't, Amelie, I did it. You did what? Did you? This isn't what it looks like, Amelie. Please listen to me. Did you force her to leave? No, I'm going after her. Lilica jumped in front of the door, arms spread wide. You can't. Why? This is unsafe to do so. You belong here with me, together. I've had enough of this, and that being unsafe. Lilica, either you move to the side or any friendship I thought we had is gone. Lilica wavered. Her arms, which had held such conviction, began to droop. I've always done what's best for you, have I not? All this time had I not remained at your side. Please trust me. I only did what I had to do. So this is what you've decided. Don't come near me again. Amelie turned her back on the blonde-haired woman who dropped to her knees as she watched her leave. Amelie! Good night, Lilica. Darkness filled every inch of her brain. A voice screamed out from inside of her, mocking her. This isn't right. My lady, this isn't right. Didn't I do the right thing? I let her go. I did her a favor, but Amelie is upset. Her lady offered her no answer. Is this punishment for not doing as you wished? Sophia should have died. She should have died. Should have died. Died. But now she's alive. And Amelie is angry. In that dark room all alone, Lilica clutched onto something she kept hidden in the closet, away from any prying eyes. She held it tighter. Its green dress fell apart at her touch. Can't you make this all better again? Can't we make her forget? Her forehead fell down and rested against the other person's shoulder. They remained silent, as they had been for many long years. I'm sorry. I'll make it all better. We can make her forget, can't we? Can't we start again? Just like before, we can start again. Lilica stood, placing the skeleton of her lady carefully back in the closet. Keep waiting for me. I promise I'll make everything right again. Let's start again, Amelie. You and me, forever. Lilica walked into the room holding a tray carefully in her hands. On it sat a teapot and 2 cups. Amelie, I have brought the tea. Excellent. It smells delicious. Amelie smiled brightly, filling Lilica with happiness in return. Lilica, may I ask you something? Of course. I found this letter by the front door. Do you know where it came from? Amelie held out an envelope. The front was blank. How strange. Perhaps it was delivered here by accident? Lilica took it from her and opened it. The bottom was signed, Yours always, Sophia. Yes, it seems to be for someone else. I'll mail this back, yes? Thank you, Lilica. I appreciate it. Finished with her tea, Amelie stood first and left the room. Lilica smiled. From under the table, she pulled out a stack of envelopes that seemed to match the one Amelie had given to her. All at once, she threw them into the fireplace. Goodbye, Sophia. We got one ending left, but, well, this has got to be the happy one, if there is a happy one. I'm beginning to wonder. There we go. Okay. I don't see this having a good ending just because of the story. Like, for a good ending, Amelie would have to be free of basically being a ghost. Sophia would have to live, and Lilica would have to, I don't know, repent? Yeah. Lilica steeled her resolve and stepped out of the bedroom. Okay. Maybe the text is to show when it's different. First went back to the guest room and put her ear to the door. No sounds could be heard from behind it. And she noticed something. Someone else walking down the hallway unsteadily. Lilica followed closely behind through the darkness. The other person was only a shadow, their features obscured and hidden. The sound of her light steps on the old wooden floorboards mixed in with the rain that was still raging just outside those walls. The kitchen was by the stairwell. That's right, by the stairwell. But you aren't going to the kitchen, are you? Hand-painted portraits were lined up in rows on either side of the hall. It seemed as if their eyes moved to follow Lilica's every move. Sophia stared up the grand staircase. She seemed as if she were entranced with each and every step. They're waiting for you. Those two people, they're calling for you. Go on, go to them. Sophia's unsteady hand reached for the banister. Her ascent was slow and careful, her eyes fixed on that door, that special door, that room where the maid had met her end, and her most hated person rested beside her. Oh boy, that room where she had made a promise to the person she loved. Lilica needed only to reach into the kitchen to procure the item that was waiting for her. It had been waiting for her all this time since Sophia had arrived. A knife with dark, aged stains over the blade and hilt. Long had sat there festering, waiting, desperate for more blood. Like a hunter stalking her prey, Lilica followed behind Sophia, the knife gripped tightly in her hand. The two stood side by side, staring at the door to the master bedroom. Oh, bloody hell. It was shut tight, as it had been for countless years. Sophia trembled. With a smile, Lilica reached over to give her arm a squeeze. Go on. You want to know the truth, don't you? You can hear their voices. I'll allow you this much. With a careful motion, Sophia pushed the door open. All at once, countless memories came flooding back, of love, hope, of the future, and of death. Sophia disappeared into the dark room, the only light being a candle she carried in her hand. A family of mice ran out from the room and down the stairs. The taste of freedom was oh so sweet for them. More quiet than the mice that had escaped, Lilica followed Sophia into the room. Wax dripped from the burning candle onto the wooden floor. She trembled as she reached a shaky hand to the bed. And at the same moment, Lilica swung the door closed behind them. The room plunged into darkness. But that darkness didn't matter to Lilica, not to she who knew this room like the back of her hand. Amelie, is that you? Amelie isn't here to save you. Sophia's eyes searched the room to no avail. I'm sorry I came in here after you asked me not to. I'll just go now, okay? The pale-haired woman fell back onto the bed before she had a moment to react. The yellowed bones of the lord of the manor and the maid rattled underneath her. Flesh long deteriorated. Oh, pardon me. Oh, sneeze. Lilica smiled. How long has it been since I last saw myself truly? What? It looks like we're finally meeting, Sophia. With a leg on either side of her, Lilica held Sophia down to the bed, still smiling. She tried to squirm, to escape, to run free. Her eyes were filled with terror. You won't take her away from me. Sophia's scream became a muffled cry before finally extinguishing fully. Finally! My lady, did you see? Are you watching? I've saved her. I've saved Amelie. Only when Lilica tried to stand did she notice it, an aged bone poking out from her stomach. Dark liquid dripped out from around it. With a slight frown, Lilica pulled free. It's okay. It'll be okay. Lilica closed her eyes. I'm just a little tired. I'll just sleep for a bit. Her eyes grew heavy, so heavy that the only option would be to sleep at this very moment. How could you do that? Lilica, why? Why? Why would you hurt Amelie like that? Why did you kill Amelie? Ah! Her eyes opened with a start, her heart racing faster than it had ever raced before. The room seemed to be spinning, and her head throbbing. Then she saw it. Lying on the bed between the two skeletons was the body of a young woman with long brown hair. Her dress was stained red. Amelie? No, not that. That's not. Who did this? Who? Sophia? Amelie, wake up. Wake. She blinked, and the young woman below her disappeared. In her place, Sophia appeared. The room was still dark. Not even a drop of sunlight peeked through the covered windows. What a cruel trick of the eyes. She stepped out from the master bedroom just as Amelie did the same right next door. Good morning, Lilica. I was just on my way to see if Sophia has awakened yet. Amelie? Sophia disappeared during the night. I believe she went to the same place your parents went. What? That cannot be right. Don't run, Amelie. Amelie dashed down the hall and knocked quickly on the door to the guest bedroom, which fell open with no resistance. Inside, the bedding was disheveled and her luggage was strewn about. It's not true. She wouldn't just leave without saying goodbye. Dear me, I'm sorry. I told you it was a bad idea for anyone to visit, didn't I? Oh, Lilica, this isn't fair. I thought she said we would. There, come here. Lilica wrapped her thin arms around the young woman, gently patting her on the back. See, you shouldn't depend on anyone else. I'm here. I would never leave you. Amelie clutched at her back, tears already falling from her eyes. We'll be together forever. Oh, interesting. Amelie froze in Lilica's arms before pulling back completely. What's happened to your face? My face? Lilica's hands went to her face instantly. Is something wrong? Amelie's expression had darkened, her mouth shut firmly in a line. My face? Pulling a small mirror from her pocket, Lilica finally saw it. A black void of nothingness where her face should have been. She turned and ran down the hall and up the stairs before Lilica could even call out after her. The void seemed to seep out from her very skin, oozing, leaking out from the wound at her stomach. That disease were in hag. Amelie, wait, it's okay. Everything will be... Lilica's hand that reached out toward Amelie fell to her side. At the top of the staircase, in this manner, in the middle of a field far out in the countryside, Amelie stood in an open doorway. A doorway that hadn't been opened to her in more years than she could truly imagine. Inside, she witnessed a sight she never should have. Her eyes hollow and her body petrified. Sophia! Amelie, this isn't... Stay away from me! Her long brown hair cascaded out around her as Amelie rushed into her bedroom, slamming the door behind her. Lilica rushed up the staircase, banging her fists against the locked door. Amelie, this is all a misunderstanding. She wanted to hurt you. I've saved you. She fell to her knees, her fists still pounding on the wooden door. A muffled sob came from within, then silence. The void surrounded Lilica, flowing from her wound and wrapping itself around her body. She curled into a ball. The sound of a chair hitting the ground inside the bedroom was the last sound Lilica heard before her eyes closed and she became one with the void. Is this really okay? What about the future? Should you try again? The room was dark. Amelie had long gone to bed, leaving Sophia alone in her room. She ducked her head under the cover and pulled out her phone, still dead. Sophia clutched it to her chest. What do I do? What exactly is going on here? Sophia's body stiffened up. Her back was to the door, but her mind screamed not to turn around. Footsteps crept closer, closer and closer until, Stay away from me! Ah! Sophia threw her bedding at the approaching person and jumped to her feet, ready to run. But the person she saw collapse to the ground was not the person she was expecting. Oh my gosh, Amelie, I'm so sorry. Sophia knelt down, quickly helping the brown-haired girl to her feet. It's quite all right. I didn't mean to scare you. I apologize. Huh, no, it's my fault. I'm too jumpy. I'm glad you're here. She was a ball all along? Okay. I'm really glad you're here. Sophia's arms draped over Amelie's shoulders. She pulled her in tight. Amelie froze for just a moment before she melted into the embrace. I'm here. But is everything all right? No, I don't think everything is all right. What could be the matter? Amelie, my phone died as soon as my cab approached your house. Do you see? She pulled out her phone, showing her the black screen. What exactly is that? My mobile. Amelie picked it up curiously, turning it in her hands. You've never seen a phone? What is it used for? For texting, making calls, playing games, those kinds of things. Amazing. Amelie? What year is it? What year? Why do you ask? Please. 1665, of course. Ah, a lot earlier. Sophia took a step back from Amelie. What is it? Amelie, This makes no sense. Lilica, this house, you... Amelie, it's 2021. What? Sophia, that's preposterous. Oh my God. She fell back onto the bed, her legs not able to hold her up any longer. Oh my God, Amelie, you're not joking. You're really... Are you feeling unwell? Maybe you need to get some rest after all. Amelie, please listen to me. Out there, the world has changed. We have phones, cars, computers. We don't need a husband. We don't need permission to buy a house. You can go to school, get a job, do whatever you want. I know I probably sound crazy to you right now, but please, I'm telling you the truth. You're trying to tell me that nearly 400 years have passed and I was stuck here. How would that even be possible? I don't know. Only how long have we been writing to each other? Well, I don't know. It's been 5 years. I need to find Lilica. She'll know what's going on. No, wait. You can't ask Lilica. Why not? I can't see Lilica, Amelie. I haven't seen her once. But she's been here from the start. I've only seen you in this house, Amelie. Something is going on within this house that's kept you stuck here, and I think she is the one that has done it to you. That can't be true. Then why don't we find out together? How? The master bedroom. Lilica was the one who said you couldn't enter, wasn't she? Please. Sophia reached out her hand carefully. Amelie stared at it, unsure before deciding to take it. I don't understand what's going on, but I trust you. Let's go. The hallway was still dark with no sign of Lilica anywhere. If she appears, then tell me, okay? Okay. Hand in hand, the two walked quickly through the hall, up the staircase. There they stood in front of the master bedroom, side by side. Their hands were sweaty. No matter what's in here, I'll be by your side, okay? Amelie offered no words, instead just squeezing Sophia's hand gently. And at that, Sophia pushed the door open. Just like the rest of the house, the room was dark and quiet. Only the moon shining in from the dirty window guided the two in. It smelled musty, as if they were in a tomb only just uncovered, not a bedroom. They crept closer and closer to the bed. It was surrounded completely by the canopy, keeping whatever was inside hidden. With a shaky hand, Sophia reached towards the light velvet. At once, the truth came into view. Amelie gasped and almost fell to her knees, but Sophia's hand kept her steady. Oh, pardon me. I'm so excited about the reveal. It's giving me indigestion. I'm sorry, Amelie, but they left. They left only a few weeks ago. It looks like they've been gone for a very long time. Amelie, I know this is hard to believe. I find it just as hard to believe as you do. Please, we have to leave this house now before Lilica finds us. She knew. I think that you've been bound to this house by her. We need to find a way to leave. Okay. The two only got halfway down the stairs when Amelie grounded to a halt. Sophia turned to look at her, her eyes wide in surprise, only to see that Amelie's expression was one of immense fear. Lilica, what are you two doing out of bed? Lilica, So you went in there? She nodded upstairs. You lied to me, only to keep you happy. Happiness with lies as their foundation isn't true happiness. And why not? We've been perfectly happy here for longer than you've even existed. And you came along and... I'm sorry, Amelie. I'm so sorry. Lilica burst into tears, wiping at her eyes with her sleeve in a desperate attempt to stop them from overflowing. Lilica! Wait, Amelie, don't... Amelie took a step towards Lilica as if to comfort her. Please don't leave, Amelie. Can't we stay here together? Amelie, she's lying to you. She wants to keep you trapped here. Please. But, please. Amelie. Sophia pulled on Amelie's arm, forcing her to turn to face her. Amelie's eyes were filled with confusion. I know you two have been together for a long time. I know I can't compete with that, but I want to give you the life you deserve. You deserve to be free, to live, to experience everything you've missed out on, not to be stuck in time here forever. And the truth is, Whatever words were coming next were lost before they were even spoken, as Sophia leant forward and placed a gentle kiss against Amelie's lips. The cries from below extinguished in an instant as Lilica watched on in horror. But just for a moment, the rest of the world melted away, and all that existed were the two of them. Love saves all! Woo! Amelie and Sophia. Amelie closed her eyes. The sensation was new and foreign, yet not unwanted. Butterflies were let loose in both of their stomachs. Where they connected, heat spread throughout their bodies. And then Sophia pulled away. The truth is, Amelie, I have liked you for a very long time. Even if you don't like me back, I want to help you. I want to help you live again. Amelie, don't listen to her. Okay. A decisive smile came to Sophia's lips. She had no time to dwell on the sudden kiss, nor her confession that would usually make her feel so nervous she'd be sick. All she had time for was to escape. Her eyes went down the hall, where an enraged Lilica stood in their path. The windows were bolted down, unable to be opened. There was nowhere at all to escape, that is, except... Do you trust me? I do. Sophia didn't need any more of a confirmation. With Amelie in hand, she turned, ran, and jumped. Through the stained glass. Glass shattered as the two girls hit it hard. They fell, surrounded by the shards, until they hit the ground below. Cut into ribbons. The moon shone from high above, shielded away by the storm that never seemed to end. Amelie, are you okay? Yes, I think so. Sophia rushed to Amelie's side, quickly helping her to sit up. Side by side, they looked up at the remains of the stained glass window. Lilica stood completely still. I can see her. I'm sorry, Lilica, but... Lilica just shook her head. She grasped at her throat with her hand, and her lips moved, but no sound came out. Giving up, she looked back at Amelie, holding eye contact. Her expression wasn't angry anymore. It was just sad. She lifted her hand and waved, a slow and small motion, before she crumbled to dust on the wind. It stopped. Lilica, it seems it wasn't you bound to this house by her, but the other way around. What am I meant to do now? Amelie, you're free. You can do whatever you wish. Sophia, exhausted, once again wrapped her arms around Amelie, who returned the gesture almost immediately. There they embraced under the now free moon. In this manner, in the middle of a field, far out in the countryside, a curse was broken. A young woman freed. What her future held wasn't certain. After all, the future never is. But she made her decision on that fateful night. To trust in the future, to trust in herself. No matter what. Well, the ending was sweet. Maybe a bit corny. Yeah, felt it was a bit corny. But, yeah. That was structured well. Liked all the different endings, getting the different perspectives. I got some parts that I'm a bit not clear on, like why some of the letters had Marion on them. Did Lilica actually kill Amelie? And if she is a ghost, why was she able to leave? Yeah. Amelie, I'm back from my class. Sophia, quick, come here. Is something the matter? No, look. Amelie held a phone screen up to Sophia, who just laughed in response. You got a 5-star character in that game you like. Isn't it amazing? All I had to do was insert the numbers on that card you gave me. Oh, no. She's addicted to gacha games. She's paying money for them. The future truly is astounding. We'll talk about it later. Oh, what's this? I'm not sure. It was slipped under the door while you were out. A plain white envelope sat on the coffee table. Nothing on it identified who sent it or who it was addressed to. With little concern, Sophia opened it and pulled out a letter, but the words may have well been a different language as she could not read them. Her eyes went straight to the name at the bottom of the page. Yours, Lilica. Yeah. Huh. Interesting. I don't know what to think of that little stinger at the end. Well, spent pretty much this whole yeah, spent this whole stream session playing that, even far longer than I usually do. Huh. Well, I did enjoy that. I hope you folks enjoyed that too. Well, yeah, I definitely need to rest. I need to eat. Yeah, definitely need food after all that. Need to warm up a little too. It's getting chilly now. Luckily, spring isn't in full bloom, so we still have some cold nights, cold days. I'm cherishing each one because I know sooner or later summer is going to rear its ugly head, and then I will suffer. Well, I have aircon, so I won't suffer that much, but you know what I mean. Anyways, I hope you folks had fun. I had fun. Hopefully, I'll be able to see you again next Saturday. But until then, enjoy yourself, enjoy your gaming, stay safe, and I'll see you all next time.